Greetings.
Underworld gains that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous lights.
Greetings.
Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Pay the toll. Zeus truth or face the dole. Charon's boast.
Welcome.
Float. Whales of the foolish on the underworld moat. Denied Olympian, decree now the tote. Eternal chains, no antidote.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Gods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream.
Rita, good morning. How are you?
Dream. So torment.
I've been here. I've been doing the show every morning, same time.
Zeus watches from Olympus cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed.
You're not doing good, Rita? Uh-oh, what's going on out there? All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Why are you not doing good, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. Decline, hold on, welcome.
Convene, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Or face the dole. Charon's boast, too full to float. Whales of the foolish on the
We are back, Grand Rising. Sorry about that.
eternal chains.
All right, you back, Q-Dog? I tried to send you a message. All right.
Antidote.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are once again back in the Thunderdome. All right, we're about to get this show started. You know exactly what we are here to do. We have to save this country, one day at a time.
Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it.
And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't
That's
be wrapped
right.
up in your feelings and be careful when you flash
There
it.
you
And
go.
when you play the game, man, you better
Yeah, we got a lot of folks. We got a lot of people out there trying to photocopy Zeus. Please be yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously.
up early in the morning, time to get it in. Time to show and prove, show you what I've been doing.
They say fools rush in, but I'm coming with a passion. I'm trying to get to know you while you're thinking that I'm asking. All right.
Get it poppin', 'cause my soul
Good morning,
is
ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get rid of the music. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Yes, we are once again back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot. All right. And you know exactly what we are here to do. What we're going to do is make sure we get the truth out there to the American people. And that does involve us having some very difficult and very, very tough conversations. All right. I know. But before we get started, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's simple. The first H is because I'm honest. The second H is because I'm humble. And the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it. I am and will always remain the most handsome. Thank you, everyone. Look at all the folks out there showing me nothing but love this bright and early. Trump is giving reparations to white people, white people. Yeah, I saw that video, and that's kind of the thing, right? What we're really getting to, as far as I am concerned, ladies. Oh, before I say it, I understand I haven't been putting this in there, but this is a signature part of the show. I got to do it, especially to the folks on the right. It's clear you won. All right, it's clear you won. When you get in a box and we have conversations, everything you say can't end with, and that's why you lost and we won. It doesn't work that way. All right, because as more and more information comes out about this victory that Donald Trump and the Republican Party got, MAGA got, I'm not just convinced it has to do with the quote identity. I'm just not convinced it's not about the identity politics. What Russia is doing currently right now, I said we got a serious issue in this country. Why did Donald Trump say during the night of the election, lots of cheating going on in Pennsylvania? Did you notice that? He said there was a lot of cheating going on in Pennsylvania on election night. But then he got radio silent. And I know Russia was behind some of those threats that came in the state of Georgia. You know, those B threats. So I just can't quite say it was all because of identity politics. Did identity politics hurt us? Possibly, but he got a lot of help, right? He got a lot of help. And Z. I am not sad that Donald Trump won. No. Now, was I disappointed on election night? Of course. It's J. It's J in the chat. Was I sad that was I angry? And am I still angry? Of course. But I can't do that 24/7. I got a life to live, ladies and gentlemen. In case you didn't know, I'm a very, very busy person outside of TikTok. In case you didn't know. But what I will be doing is helping those of you understand that there are consequences for the decisions, all right? For your decisions, all right? And so before we dive into today's content, let's get this out of the way.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Boom. All right. And so we're going to get right into some of the meat and potatoes of today's show. Now, I'm going to continue to beat the drum. I am. Mass deportations. How many of you out there are looking forward to mass deportations? Please put a 1 in the chat if you're still looking forward to mass deportations. All right. Because it's getting grimmer and grimmer by the day. Look at all these people. You see all this? Yeah. You see all these people out here that are ready for mass deportations. To my folks out there that this could impact directly, all I can say to you is this is going to be. You thought the economy, you thought all of those issues were serious problems under President Biden, right there, by the way, and Kamala Harris. If you thought those were problems you had in your life, wait until you get a load of what these folks are talking about doing. I'm not going to explain it. Just go into the spaces and listen to what's coming your way. All right. Speaking of what's coming your way, there's a video that I ran across, and this is an authentic video. A Karen threatens to call immigration on Latino workers for arriving at 6:58 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. Should we listen to this? Should we listen to it? All right. You guys said, yeah. Let's go. Let's give it a go. All right. I want you to understand there's going to be a lot more of this. All right.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm calling code enforcement again.
How?
Okay, also probably immigration. Okay, and
Yeah.
reporting you because you're not supposed to be here till 7 o'clock in the morning. No work before 7. I reported you the last time, you're going to get reported again. Do you understand me? What's your name?
Man.
What do you mean? This is the law.
Yeah.
Do you understand the law?
We're not working. I mean,
That's not working?
We haven't started yet. We're just pulling in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not having started yet.
Okay. We'll see, but I'm going to take your pictures now, okay? Maybe I'll send them to immigration too.
And she walks right back into her house with no care in the world. Wow. So what I want those of you out there to understand, which is why we were all going so hard about not putting this. He's still a criminal, all right? He's still a criminal, all right? Not putting this guy who's been impeached twice. Never mind, I'm not going to say. We were trying to help you understand that when the crackdown happens, did you hear this woman say, show me your paperwork that shows you're, authorized to be in this country? She didn't say anything like that. She went off of an assumption. She's all in the business, yeah. She just went off in an assumption and decided, and put a 1 in the chat if you think she's really going to call immigration. She's going to call INS. How many of y'all know, yeah, especially those of us who've been in this country before, how many of y'all know exactly what she's going to do? She took her phone out. She took pictures. Yeah, she's going to go. She's going to call ICE. She has a list of them right on her refrigerator because she's been waiting to do it. She's been waiting to, at least the cops, she's been waiting to do it. But under Biden and Harris, she probably felt a little defeated about doing it. But now she feels really empowered. Look at all these people who are putting one in the chat. Yeah, she's going to go in there. And yes, they're 2 minutes too early. Please come check them out. I've been waiting to tell you about him and his friends. They've been coming here and she's not just going to say about you being her. She's going to tell them everything. She's going to give them your license plate number. She's been keeping a case on you. So America, get ready for the mass deportations. I know a lot of you think I'm just kind of, they say I'm fear mongering. I don't want to, it's not fear mongering. It's, you want it. They said the problem with the Democrats, our messaging was off. Didn't you hear him say that? It was too much about Donald Trump and not the issue. Well, here's the issue. I'm not talking about Trump. No, I'm talking about you. You, and you. And I've seen this happen in my lifetime before. I mean, we've all been stereotyped one way or another. I mean, most people of color understand what I'm saying, but this is serious. They come to your house. Your neighbors are looking at them going, well, what the heck did they do? Why are the police there? Why is INS there? And the assumption from that point forward, whether they take you or not, is that you're somehow involved in criminal activity. Yeah. So I wanted to get that out there. By the way, there's polls going around. Does anyone regret voting for Donald Trump? By the way, I want to see if there's anyone out there. Does anyone regret voting for Donald Trump? Because I would love to hear from you and talk to you, and get to the bottom. What happened? Does anyone regret voting for Donald Trump? Put a 1 in the chat if you are starting to at least have second thoughts. How about that? We can't. Maybe regret is too strong of a word. Does anyone out there have any kind of concerns? Or Sharon says they'll never admit it. Okay. Not a chance. Sunshine. High political candy. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, there's folks out there that may be reconsidering it. If they don't regret it now, they will. Well, to the people, you see that bye-bye wokeism. Yeah. By the way, did you see what came out about inflation? It's starting to do a little bit of an uptick. So the egg prices are about to start going up. Your gas prices, they might actually start going up. It might be a rough Christmas. It might be a rough Christmas out there for a lot of you who thought Donald Trump was going to bring those prices down. But get this. Here's the kicker. At least you won't be woke. You're not woke, though. You might be broke, but you're not woke. All right. I want to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk to anyone that's brave enough to get in the box and have an honest conversation. And when I say honest conversations, I think the conversation that I had yesterday with that one gentleman who was a black gentleman, he came into my life, Zeus. And if he's still here, I want you to know, I had a little chuckle while I was at the gym working out. I was cracking up. I said, this gentleman, he said, I voted for, and I'm paraphrasing it, I voted for Donald Trump because I wanted him to reset the board. Get rid of all the immigrants in the country so my company could benefit financially from these contracts. Y'all remember this conversation? And then I played him the clip of Don Lemon talking to a Hispanic person. And he said, yeah, I wanted to vote for Trump because I didn't like the fact that Kamala Harris was giving black men money. Donald Trump is that is some master manipulation that Donald Trump pulled on two different groups. He used their hate against each other, and who came out the winner? Donald Trump, right? Can't make this stuff up. I was cracking up. I was cracking up when I heard that. I said, oh, he said, America has issues. Yeah, America got a whole lot of issues. And we're going to remind America what those issues are while Donald Trump is in office, right? So, right, yeah, I know I'm right. And these people know that I'm telling the truth. That's why I say it wasn't because of the identity politics. It was because of the hatred that a lot of us have in our hearts towards other people. You thought if you got it your way, then you would be coming out victorious. And he thought he got it his way, he'd come out victorious. But the only one who came out victorious is Donald Trump and his rich elite friends. You know, They're doing reparations for the YT folks while y'all is sitting here arguing over crumbs. You can't make this stuff up. All right, now I'm going to talk about this. Who is this? The Middle East Northern African Chamber of Commerce wants to know why Donald Trump broke his promise to them to call for an immediate ceasefire in Palestine and Lebanon on November 6th. Here's the kicker. They actually believed Donald Trump. Now, this is a letter they've sent to the Honorable Donald Trump, all right? And it's dated November 8th. Some of you may have already read it, but I just want to make sure you all understand what's going on. Dear President-elect Trump, on behalf of the Lebanese Americans within MENA, which is Middle East Northern Africa, Chamber of Commerce, we congratulate you on your historic return to the White House. Dearborn, Michigan, a city with the highest concentration of Arab Americans outside of the Middle East, it turned red in this presidential election due to your genuine outreach to our community and our belief that you're the optimal choice for our democracy, our economy, and matters in foreign policy. The over 3.5 million members, some of whom reside in swing states, are proud to have contributed to your margins of victory, particularly in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Your success is a testament to your resonance with the values and concerns of MENA Americans. In response to your renowned letter addressed to the Lebanese Americans dated October 26, 2024, and due to the escalation of Israeli attacks subsequent to the U.S. election, we're urging your administration and transition team to apply your political influence in demanding an immediate ceasefire in Lebanon and Palestine. This is what they're asking Trump to do. This aligns with the commitment towards lasting peace, which you made in the letter and in person while signing peace plaques. So he signed these peace plaques with them. And they believed him. Furthermore, our meeting with your team leading up to your historic win underscored the importance of our dialogue in matters pertaining to Lebanon. These engagements have already led to robust lines of communications, including your recent commitment to pursue peace in Lebanon and your unprecedented and iconic visit. As a matter of high importance, and in delivering on your promise of a November 6th ceasefire, again, we urge you to call for an immediate ceasefire in Lebanon and Palestine while crafting long-lasting peace in the region. Further, we still believe, your team's leadership will be instrumental in advancing productive U.S.-Lebanese relations, and for that reason, we would like to add our support to the appointment of a chief negotiator with the Lebanese government. We also want to highlight that an equitable and unconditioned ceasefire would serve as a catalyst for all parties to negotiate lasting peace. As evidenced by historical precedent, without a ceasefire, diplomacy becomes elusive. We look forward to collaborating with you and your team on implementing an immediate ceasefire. Ladies and gentlemen, today is what, November 13th? Has there been a ceasefire? Has there been a ceasefire yet? Can anyone tell me if there's been a ceasefire out there? Anyone? Nope. If there's been a ceasefire, please let me know. So another group of people who voted for Donald Trump, they're finding out Donald Trump lied to them. See, it wasn't just identity politics. A lot of folks actually took the bait. And this is why Vladimir Putin, I don't know if you've been following this, this is why Vladimir Putin is so boldly coming out and making it clear to Donald Trump that he owes Putin a lot, because Putin was one of those forces that helped Donald Trump get elected. So to all of the Trump supporters out there, listen, I'm still taking the loss, right? I'm going to be I'm just going to be, a little more reserved in terms of passing judgment and saying things. But if you're really being a terrible person, I'll call that out. But for the most part, I'm going to let you gloat right now because I see what's coming. And if you knew what was coming, the rest of you Americans, if you really knew what was coming, you wouldn't be celebrating Donald Trump's victory at all. You wouldn't be. But listen to these people, please. If you're a Trump supporter, please. Now, other people could be as petty as they want to. You know Zeus, right? As long as you're following the format of the show, I will let you get it off your chest. I will. Because that's what America's about. They say they want real conversations. W Dolphin in the chat. Let's go. I'm not about to sit here and let these Trump supporters come up here and give Zeus a lecture about winning. Absolutely not. Especially when I know I'm right. But y'all did win, so I think there needs to be a degree of freedom in terms of letting the American people understand who you are and what you're standing for. Because apparently when we were doing it, the message didn't connect with a lot of people. And so when you hear people come up, especially some of my friends that are a little further to the left, yeah, I want you to hear what they say, because that also is part of getting to the real conversations. All right, it's very critical that everyone understands. Not everybody is going to be as nice as I am about a lot of you going out there and blowing your vote on Donald Trump. Not everyone's going to be as nice as I am. All right, I go to a lot of spaces. Never mind, I can't go there. Let's go to the box. All right, let's go. I gotta go in the box. All right, I'm gonna bring up my good friend. I haven't talked to this guy in a while, all right? And I need to hear from you, all right? The old Triple H, but now he goes by the Last Prophet. What's going on, brother?
I'm still Triple H.
No, you ain't.
I'm at work at the Last Prophet.
Okay, you stick to be at the Last Prophet. And I thank you for relinquishing the Triple H, because you were confusing the people for a moment on TikTok. All right, but what do you got for us? I haven't talked to you in a minute. What do you want to share with us this morning, my good friend?
Well, you remember Gomer Pyle?
Yes.
You remember what he used to say? Shame, shame, shame.
Yes.
It haven't hit yet, Zeus.
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming.
Well,
but it haven't hit yet.
Well, unpack that. What do you mean? What's coming? And understand, a lot of people don't speak in metaphors and stuff like that.
Okay. The actions and the results of Donald Trump is going to show up in about 18 months. They're going to blame Joe Biden like he left something broke or not right. But he leaving a hell of an economy, man. Joe Biden walking away with his head held high. He did a real good job over the last 4 years. You know, VP Harris too. That administration shined.
Yeah, but why do you think that didn't get communicated down to because there's folks in this country that are they're not following politics like you and I do, right? Why do you think that information never got to these people despite the fact that there's some issues in the economy that President Biden and Kamala, did? We got flagged, all right, but please keep going. We'll see how this goes.
Who, they flag me or they flag you?
I think they flagged the live, but we'll see how it goes. You know how this goes.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you long because I know I'm one of the most wanted men right now on TikTok because I be in all kind of lies. I be everywhere, mess with folks about the truth. But it'll show up, Zeus. It'll show up the bad policy, the insufficiency. This I want to tell you. You remember he said he was going to replace the civil servants with loyal stuff.
Yeah.
You know who's 20% of the civil servants, federal civil servants. You know who's 22% of them?
Who?
People that look like me and you. I seen a thing the other night. I forget what it is. It's a little area that is really wealthy and well off, and they're living really nice because they put in the work.
Yeah.
One lady had a doctor and something, and he's taking black jobs. That's what he's trying to do. I was wondering what was his thing behind civil servants. It's 22% of federal civil servants are African Americans.
Wow.
And I'm gonna say if I go, I hope I don't get flagged. My sister, I talked to her last night. She said she was at the doctor's office yesterday.
Okay. Where at? Where's the doctor's office?
Louisiana.
Okay. I'm listening.
And a guy and his wife was in there with them bad children, just kind of letting them do.
Yeah.
And they try to start a conversation with how did they like the results of the election. And my sister don't really talk to people that much. And it got so where they thought that she was being uppity because she wouldn't talk to him. But her son stands 6'2" or 6'3", he like 245.
Right.
when the guy jumped up because he was in his he worked for the parish out there, so he was sitting over in another area and didn't even know he was in there. So when the guy jumped up and confronted him about why y'all want to talk to my wife,
Yeah.
she said she thought he had disappeared because her son got up and flipped him on the wall.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Them folks need to mind their businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. But more of that's going to be happening, you know. That more of that's going to be happening, unfortunately. All right, mister? All right, last prophet. And that's just the way it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to my brother, the last prophet. All right, brother? Nice hearing from you. All right,
The
let's give
original
it.
Triple H.
Yep. And I took
I'm
it.
gonna let you use it, man. I'm gonna let you use it.
All right. I appreciate that. All right, I appreciate that. You did the right thing. That's big of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the last prophet another round of applause.
All
right.
Give it wings. Let me fly.
All right, I'm gonna let him fly. All right, now if you're a Trump supporter, put a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna bring you up. All right, and let's have this conversation. All right, as long as we're being respectful Americans, I believe the conversation will be a good conversation. All right. But if we're engaging in random things that just you want to get up here and act immature and inappropriate, all right, I'll take care of that. You know what I'll do? We got the Lake of Fire queued up. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. All right, and you want to come up here and really get it off your chest in terms of what you believe is going to occur going forward. All right, I see you, Admir. I see you. Don't worry. Money. Come on up here. That's an interesting name, Money. I sent you an invite. Come on up here and let's have that conversation if you don't mind. All right, let's see, who do we got? Mark. Okay, Mark, come on up here. Donald Trump, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, he's going to be meeting President Biden in an hour, and so we know what to expect, right? This is the nicest live. Thank you. I tried to. I mean, there's a lot of strong people in here, though, so be careful. It's the Thunderdome. He's going to the Washington D.C., and as far as I'm concerned, he gets to go back to revisit the crime scene. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. Welcome to the show. So you voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Did
Just because
you?
I focused on simply because of what he did in his last term.
And what is that? What was that?
Well, before I get into that, I just really wanted to ask you why you believe the economy really wasn't better under Trump compared to the Biden administration.
No. Well, I would get into that, right? But I think we've done that exercise throughout the election, and it didn't really kind of help. It didn't kind of help. So I'm just going to kind of let you guide this, right? You believe he did better with the economy while he was president, correct?
Um, from what I've seen, as far as people comparing gas prices, as far as what happened before, because I don't really want to speak on the whole pandemic thing because I do see both sides of that, of why employment went crazy up at one
Mm-hmm.
point and why it went crazy down at one. I can see both sides of that. But
Did
for
what?
me,
Oh.
sorry, go ahead.
No. I had a question, but I'll hold it off. I'll
Okay,
hold off on
so
it.
I've seen both sides as far as that, but what I'm trying to figure out is why that was a lot of the people's issue. Like, why was the first thing that they were talking about was the gas prices, was the affordable housing, was the unsecured border, and not like you said, I'm trying to keep this civil and but
Yeah.
how do you think Kamala, like just comparing, because I feel like this is a good thing for America because let's say Trump just won the election back to back, we wouldn't really have anything to compare his administration to other than Obama's. So the fact that we were actually able to get Biden these past 4 years, we can now compare the 4 years that we've had and see what Trump's going to do within the next 4 years. But what I'm saying simply is I've seen what Trump did in his last term. I did see that people were under his administration as far as the economy and as far as the border. Now, I'm not too
Well,
sure
okay,
about
okay. I guess
how.
so. What I want to do is because I think you're trying to get as honest as you can, but there has to be the recognition that he was in office, and somewhere along the line, the energy with with the electorate was he needs to be taken out of office, and that's how President Biden won, right? And
Uh,
that's assuming we accept the results of the 2020 election.
right, and then there's also the case where they said he encouraged everybody to storm the Capitol. I'm not sure how much your knowledge is on that, or if you're even
On January 6th.
right.
I
They're also saying that plays a part.
I got a pretty good understanding. That's pretty much what I used to build my show on, right? I used to cover January 6th at nauseum. So, but before we get to January 6th, wait, you agree January 6th was a bad thing, though, right?
It looked bad for sure. Now,
Okay.
I'm not sure what the message Trump was actually trying to get out, and like the way, because obviously the way people approached the Capitol and how they did it, and the fashion that they did it in, it had to come from Trump, and the way he delivered the message. I think that's the only result on why they
Okay.
they
Okay.
they did it in the fashion they did it in.
Okay. So let's keep this conversation at least in a point where I can at least follow the thoughts a little bit more. All right. There was a period where Trump was president, right? He won 2016. He became president. The people, I accepted the results of the 2016 election, even though Hillary lost. He was the president. Something occurred while he was president. Wouldn't you say that made it a situation where people went out and voted again and they said, no, we want Joe Biden, right?
Right, because there was a lot of hatred towards Trump at the time, and there's still a lot today. I mean, so
So we can't say the hatred was the issue then, because now they're saying the hatred is the reason he won, right?
yeah, which is true because it seemed like the more they were trying to impeach him and get him arrested, it just
Okay.
seemed like he was hitting the polls even more. So
Okay, and so with that being said, right? You do have to me the evidence you need to at least know what one administration under Donald Trump looks like and see that clearly there was a resounding rejection of it, which is how President Biden got in. What I think, and this is just me kind of having an honest conversation, I don't think people really understand what Joe Biden and Kamala
but
Harris. I don't
I'm
think
sorry, go ahead.
I don't believe people really understand the good things President Biden and Kamala Harris's administration have done. And whether, like, you brought up the egg prices and the gas prices, and things going on in terms of conflicts and things like that. I understand that those are very real issues, but I don't think people kind of understand how those issues came about. And somewhere along the way, they became way more important than Donald Trump's previous record in the White House, I guess, because the way that I look at it is, do you think, let's just say China releases another, as you all like to say, another one of those things, right? Dr. Fauci, right?
Dr. Fauci, I don't, unfortunately.
You don't
I'm being honest with you.
you don't remember the pandemic?
Oh, the COVID-19 pandemic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you honestly think we're in a better position now with Trump? Do you think he's actually learned how to deal with something like that?
I don't know. I honestly, I wouldn't be able to answer that, to be honest with you. And the only reason I say that is because he was on his way out when the pandemic hit.
Well, he was in there, I
Only for the
believe.
first few months, I believe, which
It,
still can be
it's
accounted for, but
well, so if you look at what Donald Trump did in terms of that, and you could go look this up on your own, there was a pandemic response team that Barack Obama put into place. And when Trump came in, one of the things he liked to do is whatever Obama did, he's just going to undo it because Obama is weak. Obama is a terrible person. I'm going to put all of these things into place, which includes, reversing some executive orders and putting some of his own in. So that exercise happened. So if you get rid of our ability to respond to a pandemic, that opens you up, right, to be vulnerable, right?
true, yes.
And then we saw what happened already in the first term when it came. You had a moment where either he was going to be straight with us American people or he was going to, lie and do what he does. And I believe personally that's part of the reason President Biden was elected, because the American people recognized he was lying, and they said we can't deal with this, especially, with Americans losing their lives, right?
The lies that he said. I just wanted to know what kind of lies did he say, like, towards
And
the people?
I'm not doing this. And if I answer your question, I want you to understand I'm not saying these things because I don't like Donald Trump. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't like him. But I would never go as far as just to make up things about him that I know I haven't verified are true. I don't do that to people. But if you want to ask me what were some of the lies, I think one, he never was honest with us during the pandemic about uh, whether or not it was dangerous. He often said things like it would be gone by summer. Remember that?
Yeah, I
He
think what happened. I'm not sure if this started yet, but I think it did get to a certain point where people were just getting fed up. Like, if this is how our life is going to be for who knows how long, then it's only going to get worse because you have the businesses being closed down, you have people being financially impacted by it because they lost their jobs.
and
They
that
weren't
did
able to
and that
find
did
another.
happen. That did
Yeah,
happen, right? People did lose their jobs.
right. Yeah, and they had to work from home and be isolated.
And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people did not like that, which contributed towards Joe Biden honestly getting the American electorate on his side and saying he's just not able to really handle dealing with a national security issue like this.
I mean, no one can really handle something like that, right? No one can really take handle of a global pandemic. I mean, we can only be in charge for what we have here in the United States. We can only, control what we have here in the States. As far as it being a global pandemic, I really don't think it was up to anybody to really do anything about it, other than our health workers, the people pushing to fight this virus to try to actually get rid of it or slash find a cure. But I wouldn't really say that it was up to Trump or Biden to try to fix a global pandemic.
What about so why do you think people were upset with President Biden then? I mean, I don't know, or him and Kamala Harris. I mean, these there's the actual pandemic, and then there's the impact of it, right? Which includes things like inflation and immigration. If no one really has control of it, then why were people so upset with this current president about it?
I think they were upset just because they were no longer able to live the lives that they were living on their everyday normal lives. Like, they weren't able to just go out and go to the store. People that liked going to the gym, they were no longer able to do that. And
I
they were with it for a while. They were like, you know what? We get it. We're in a pandemic. Everybody stay locked in. And then it even got to the point where they had record-breaking numbers of vaccine shots that were being done to the American people. And even with all that being done, it didn't really, it's COVID still played like a big part in our society. Like, there were still lockdowns, there were still businesses shut down and things like
mm.
that. So
So okay. Now I'm gonna just say I don't quite have that same perspective, that same point of view. From the way that I see it, it showed that uh, during his presidency, he cared more about getting reelected and less about the American people. And so if that involved him having to lie about a lot of things, having to secretly give Putin COVID equipment and things like that. That's what he was more focused on. And that kind of behavior, right, is the thing that I was concerned about going into this election, right? Do you
right, because he
re-
seemed like he thought he was just focused on the wrong things.
so the question is, do we think now he's focused on the right things, right? Because he's made, let's just be honest, he's made a lot of promises. I think there was around 93 to 100 promises that he made. Let's
Wow, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know the exact number of promises, but I do know
things things like
he
things
does
like
talk a big game as far as
well,
what he
oh,
wants to do.
okay, well, so okay, one of the biggest promises, and I am going to really be making it a point using the show to make sure I drill home the point about it, is the mass deportations. Do you have anybody that is? Do you have any friends or family that are of Hispanic heritage?
I do actually. Yes,
What is it? How close are you to them?
very close. I have family members that are in relationships with Hispanics.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts? Like, first of all, did any of them support Donald Trump like you do?
Yeah, they do. They actually, some of them do actually. Some Hispanics, they do. They support him.
And I don't get it because he's talking about deporting 11 million people. And yesterday on my show, I played a video about this operation already being done in the United States. It's called Operation WB. You can go look it up. It started they implemented it in 1954, and some of the blowback about it was it involved getting innocent Americans sucked into it. Women, children, their grandmothers, and things like that, and basically picking them up on vagrancy charges, right? And sending them through that whole blender, right? Until they figured out whether or not they were actually, here legally or not. But what do
I
you
think.
think? What do you think about that? That like these people
Well,
that voted for Trump, they just might have voted for their own demise in a way.
I think the reason why they weren't worried about it, or at least the people that I'm talking about that I know, is because they have their documents. They have their passports, their green card. I don't know about every single documentation that you're supposed to have
Well,
to
that
be
happened
considered a
before.
U.S. citizen.
That happened before when I played it about Operation WB. There's going to be three areas that they're looking at, and there's a video on my page. Jim Jordan talked about it. They're going to go after the criminals.
Yeah, the
A
ones that
lot,
are
but a
the
lot
ones
of
that have a bad history.
but a lot of people that came in, they forget that coming in the country illegally is going to give you the definition of a criminal. You don't got to be out here robbing and stealing and unaliving. Just the fact that
Oh,
you are
right.
here
Just
illegally,
breaking into a exactly. I agree with that. Just the fact that you're breaking into another country
you're a
is
criminal.
wrong in
But
itself. Exactly.
so you're gonna have grandmas, things like these are grandmothers. They're going to be like, I'm not breaking the law. Okay, I didn't, but I'm not, and they're going to be rounded up.
I think the reason why people bring this stuff up is because like they try to compare it to your home. Like they say, would you allow somebody to just break into your home even though they do the dishes or your laundry? And then
I
some people are like, no, absolutely not. I would kick them right out. And then they're like, well, you should apply that to our country. We should look out for our U.S. citizens, and we should
so
look at our U.S. citizens as our residents. You know,
I completely agree. But if
you
you
know.
know people in those communities, what's that's not always what's happening there. You know that. And so there's going to be people who are non-criminals. They're going to be torn from their families,
You're
and
right.
and
It is
and, and,
unfortunate. It is unfortunate, and
and
like,
I
and
appreciate you conceding on that. And there's going to be people who are American citizens who's maybe they got similar names, similar backgrounds, and then they're going to have to be subjected to the process. They're going to be embarrassed in their neighborhoods, right? It's going to cost them money, maybe even their jobs. They are going to also be sucked into this because you got to come up with 11 million because that's one of his biggest promises.
That's I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to act like I know so much about him actually deporting people. All I know from what he said was that he wants to try to get out the illegals. And if you do want to come here, we have more than welcome arms. We will open you here with welcome arms if you come in here the right way. And that's all we're asking for. We don't care what your background is. Well, they kind of do. They want to know if you're a criminal or not, but they don't care about your ethnicity. They don't care about your religion. They don't care if if you've been through some like bad life situations before you came, because that's really the goal, right? They come because they want to look to have a better life for either for them right
But
now or for their future.
But okay. Now we're gonna. So I know I've talked to you for a while, and I appreciate you. But
No
let's just go
problem.
down this. Let's just go down this path. Hypothetically speaking, What would you do if one of your relatives ended up being, you know, rounded up? What would you say to them?
Oh, I'm
If they,
sorry.
if
Can you say that again?
like hypothetically, say because you know they got to get 11 million people. That's the number he promised. And you and I have agreed there's going to be some innocent folks caught up in this. Hypothetically speaking, what would you say if one of your friends or relatives ended up getting, selected for deportation, and either maybe they went through and then they found out later on they weren't they were here legally, or they actually went through and did exactly that. They deported them and sent them to a country that this person has never probably been to in their life. If you
Right,
could
just
speak
simply
to them.
because they weren't um accepted, right?
No, because they put their name in a database and they said, "Oh, they're not here legally based on our research." Boom, boom, boom. Knock on the door. Hey, it's INS, it's ICE, police. Come on out here. What's your name? And they tell them their name. I got my paperwork, and they go, "Yeah, come with us because we got to
Well,
go
I
double
don't.
check." And then they ended up getting, put in through this process. What would you say to them? That's kind
Well,
of
I
the
don't.
question.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, and I see like how that would happen. I
W
don't really.
Dolphin in the chat. Thank you, Dolphin. But and the
I
reason that
don't.
I'm doing this, Brian, and it's
Yeah.
because all throughout the election, I gone onto these lives on TikTok and I hosted some of them. And we would regurgitate facts. We would regurgitate all this information about Donald Trump. And it seems like it fell on deaf ears. So now I feel like I gotta go one step further and actually speak to people where they're at to try to get the information out so I can have better and more honest conversations. And I think this is a strategy that it seems to be working. I really want to make sure we understand what's about to happen.
I get exactly where you come from, and I was just about to respond to you right now, but I wanted to let you finish. I kind of lost my train of
Oh, I'm
thought.
so sorry.
No, 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 you're good. But I think what I was gonna say was, it had something to do with what you were saying about them showing up to their house, asking for their papers, and what they would do if they didn't have them. Oh, that's right. I found it. Now, I was brought up this question by somebody that I knew myself. And they asked the same thing that you did. They said, well, what happens if Donald Trump actually goes through with this and starts getting people, these kind of people out of here? And I said, well, how was your paperwork and everything as far as your citizenship before under his last term? I said, did you hear did you hear a lot about him deporting people then? I just feel like if he didn't really do it the first time, he's
Mm.
not going to really do it this time.
Mm.
As far as deportating, I don't think he's actually going to get up and try to get 11 million people exactly just out the country.
Okay.
I do think that's a little out of his reach
But
because
that's and I get, you know why? And I'll say this. He had people who weren't as loyal to him in these positions, right? But Donald Trump's learned something from that last administration. He's surrounding himself with people who are just pretty much going to do what he says do, and they're not going to push back. And if you haven't look at that, have you been paying attention to his cabinet appointments? Tim Homan, Christy Nome. These are people who are very, very loyal. Not like Mike Pence loyal. More loyal than Mike Pence.
sorry, could you say that again?
I
Some
said
things keep coming in and out.
Donald Trump had his hands on the levers of power in his first administration, right? And for that, it was his first rodeo. He learned some things in that first rodeo, especially when it comes to picking people, that this time around he's not going to make the same mistake. He's not going to pick establishment Republicans. All right, he's going to pick only those who, you know what I like to say, want to smell that dirty diaper. Okay, you smelled
Well,
my
yeah.
diaper. Come on in. If you don't smell my diaper, get away from me because you're going to basically end up reporting me in the case there's crimes or things like that. I don't want that. I need people who are going to come in here and do
And listen
exactly
to
what.
me.
And so
Yeah.
he's got people that are not only going to do the things that he said, but they're going to be happy to do it.
Right.
He
I
wa-
think, and
and you
the
know
only
about
thing I can.
Project 2025 and things like that. This is not, if he does exactly what he did the first time, right? He's going to get clobbered. his supporters are not going to be happy at all.
Do you
He has to go harder.
do you think he actually came up with Project 2025? Trump himself?
Well,
Like, do you think he actually organized it and came
oh,
up
I
with
don't
all the
think
plans?
personally, I don't believe he's that intellectually, capable of drafting all of the 900 pages himself. But I do know he's definitely 100% involved in it, in 110%, and that's not even a percentage in most places. I know he's 100% involved in it. Look at the people he's picking,
I
and
think,
and
and to touch on that,
and so
he did mention something about his Republican Party, or at least what he wants to have done under his administration.
what did
They
he
said
mention?
they said when he won the first, well, he said when he won the first time, he didn't even think he was going to win. And I think who was his running mate at the time that was
Pence,
with him? What was it? No, no, no. Was it him?
Mike
Well,
Pence.
I
Yes,
his running mate. Who
yes,
did he have as vice president before when under his administration?
Pence.
Pence. Okay, I think he
Jesus
mentioned.
Christ,
Sorry, I think he mentioned something about. Well, first they didn't even think they were going to win the election, but when they ended up winning, he ended up taking the office. He went for it, but the problem was, at least as what they saw, that they were surrounded by a bunch of people that were just telling him, to do this and to do
got it.
that. And because it was his first time in the presidency, he was kind of just like
Yeah, okay,
riding with it. But
yeah.
I do see why you say he has learned a few things now compared to his last
And
term.
so with that, now that we kind of you understand why I'm saying that, all right? And I don't think I'm understanding you don't necessarily follow politics that closely, but you did vote for Trump. Would there be anything he could do to make you regret voting for him? This is my last question, and then I'm going to move on. All right, seriously.
Um,
So because let's just say he does carry out with these mass deportations and families are separated, mothers and children are crying. Would that be enough to make you go, maybe I shouldn't have did that? Or what about the tariffs? He wants to do tariffs, right? And a lot of people thought that was a good thing, but they're saying economists are actually saying, that's
oh,
actually
like
going to cost,
charging them more on the tariff tax, as
which
far as.
ultimately is going to cost you an additional $4,000 according to projections per year to your bottom line. Would that be an issue for you? Uh, because ultimately,
If it would,
huh?
I mean, did I want to know if that is something that would actually affect the economy? Because from what I heard, he did say that the tariff is what was going to pay that, and that's why, and that's why,
Oh
and that's why there was
God.
an increase for it,
Oh God.
because he's trying to get the tariff to get to pay for it, to have the
Okay.
tariff cover it
Okay.
instead of
Okay.
it having an impact on us.
I
So
get it. I get it. Well, I would encourage you to actually, check out how tariffs really work because what you're validating, unfortunately, is it's kind of the same thing. These people who thought Donald Trump was going to end the war on November 6th, these Lebanese folks that voted for him, and now they're going, please do it because we voted for you, but they don't want to really come out and say, I know you didn't lie to me. They don't want to say that just yet because he's about to become president. But there
right,
there
but
might be a chance that Donald Trump lied to you about that.
I want to say, let's at least give him a chance to take the office, because I
Mm.
think what's going on right now is they don't realize that he just got elected, but he doesn't actually take office until January. So right now, everything that is still
But he
going on
wrote, but
is.
but he wrote it on the paper that once he got elected, he would definitely, be pushing for a ceasefire, and he hasn't. So you can kind of see why these folks are already getting. They're starting their little, movement right now. They're getting ready to come out and say, "Hey, you lied to us." But like to your point, he hasn't gotten in office yet. But they shouldn't have even had to write the paper about the ceasefire because according to what he signed in October, once he got elected, he was supposed to be basically pushing Israel to say, "Hey, stop it."
No, he didn't mention that. I mean, he was able to eliminate a lot of wars during his first term, and that's kind of where I'm coming from here. It's that he's proven to
Well,
be able to do these things already.
what if I were to say, like he didn't really end the Afghanistan war? I mean, as much as people say Biden did a disastrous withdrawal, it was actually ended by President Biden.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
but
you can
Trump
say it was
oversaw
ended
it.
on
He
both of them.
oversaw it. He oversaw it and did some things like tried to invite the Taliban to Camp David and the people who were really there. W. Rick in the chat. All right, the people who were in and everyone else who's been very supportive. And thank you for listening. I just, Brian. I know I got to move it on, but I think this was an authentic conversation. It kind of let me know what you are following and what you really need to work on following. All right, but I would encourage you to really go look at Donald Trump and his record on lying, right? Because you can't go forward not at least having a plan B in case you find out he's lying, right? That would be reckless on your part, right? And there's a chance he might be lying based on some of the things you and I have discussed.
I don't know. Like you really
Okay.
believe that he would just lie? Like do you really like? I don't know. I just don't think. Like yeah, you can. We don't have to believe every single thing that comes out of his mouth because yeah, Donald Trump does be saying some dumb stuff like in the way he says it. But I just don't. I just don't see why. Like why would you think that it was
Why?
just something he would lie about? Like why
Well,
does it
I'll
have
give
to be
you
a
a
lie?
clue. I'll give you a clue, and then I'll move on. But again, thank you. There's an
No, no,
article.
no problem.
There's an article you can go look up. Trump lied over 30,000 times during his first administration, where everything he was saying, they went and investigated. And this is to me, how much time do you got to be able to do this, right? But it was such an issue during his first term that they had to keep track of these lies. So if somebody is on record lying 30,000 times, I think there's a good chance they could be lying. That's just my opinion, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's not difficult to imagine. You don't lie 30,000 times and then go to church one day and, "Oh, I'm an angel of the Lord and I tell no lies." And if you looked at his character, who you do and who you're with, that's nobody's business, but the whole Stormy Daniel thing. Every time he's with something, is with someone or involved with something that's nefarious, his classic line is, "I know nothing about it." Similar to how he talked about Project 2025. I know nothing about it. Putin, Putin and I had a call. Russia, we talked to Trump. Trump, I know nothing about it. Someone's lying. All right, Brian?
I get what you're saying. Can I? I'm gonna just ask you this one last question before I go, because I know you've got other people that are probably waiting on you. Um, Besides all the social media, besides all the things from people want to call the fake news real news, what it come basically what I just wanted to come down to on my end, what the whole thing that it comes down to for me was who did better while they were in office. Eliminate the social medias, eliminate the fake or real news that people say is fake or real. Eliminate the racist talks and the lies. I mean, maybe not so much the lies because you do have to be careful what you say to the people, but eliminating all those things and just focus on who did better in office.
So
Who do you believe?
ultimately, you're asking who knows how to govern? Who knows how to govern?
Who's the better commander in chief?
Yeah, that means to me who knows how to run the executive branch of government and who knows how to work with the legislative branch and the judicial branch, right? Who could put together a good team to help run the United States government? In my opinion, it depends on what metrics you're using to track that, right? I would
And I think what a lot of the metrics were. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but I think a lot of the metrics that people were vouching for was pretty much the prices on everything in our economy. I think that's what it was. And if
got
you
it.
voted,
Got
and if
it.
you voted for, I mean, and then if you look
So
at the
so
other
so that
side,
that 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 saves us a lot of guesswork then, right? Hypothetically speaking, if the price of the eggs continue to go up and gas continues to go up and inflation goes up, then it's a no-brainer, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, then holding me accountable.
Then
Like,
if
no
those
problem.
things go up in your world, you have to come back and say President Biden did a better job, right?
Exactly, and
Okay.
I will say that if it comes
Okay.
down to it, but we
Yeah.
also have to take note.
But but what I say is,
I,
I looked at, could you go without being impeached, right? And I know Donald Trump got impeached twice, so that's a ding on his record. That's two
you think
times
they're
in
gonna
one.
try to do that on this term coming up?
No, he has the House and the Senate, but those are things that I look at in terms of someone else being able. Can you govern this country, right? Do you know how to get legislation passed? Whether I like the legislation or not, right? Do you know how to work with Congress and get a lot of legislation passed? And I would encourage you to look at how much legislation the Biden-Harris administration got passed in just 4 years, and they did it without getting impeached. All
That's
right,
true. I
all
mean,
right.
I
That
appreciate
shows
that.
you know how to work with government. All right, and President Biden didn't get indicted. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, listen, Brian. I appreciate the conversation. All right, I got to move it on. All right. Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
All
Take
right,
care.
ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Brian. No lake of fire for Brian. I know Brian. I hope you listen to. I hope you listen to some of the people who come up here, Brian, and they talk. All right, because again, I'm very nice. I'm very nice, but there's going to be other folks who I bring up and they say, you know what, Zeus, this and this could be an issue as well. All right. Now, listen, I got to bring you up. All right, Dolphin. Good morning. He's reachable. Hopefully. Good morning, Dolphin. Welcome to the show. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. You got a lot on your chest you want to get off. All right. Let's go.
Okay. Well, these mass deportations makes me kind of laugh because of the fact that you darn well know that the ones that are here illegally are the YT people who's overstayed their visas. To anybody in the comments, hate to tell you this, but they are coming over legally because asylum seeking is a legal process. So as soon as you step onto American soil, yes, that would be trespassing. That would be a misdemeanor. But as soon as you claim asylum, guess what? You're not illegal anymore.
Tell him. Well,
So I just thought I'd make a little clarification to those that want to say that these people are coming over illegally. No, they are not. They are coming in based on our Constitution and our asylum rules.
thank you. And they can and will be subjected to the mass deportation still, right?
Dear Lord, all I know is that I do not want to live in a militarized state. I'm sorry, country. Um, I don't want police to have indemnity because I know for a fact because I live very close to Detroit, Michigan,
Thank you.
and
Shout out to Detroit.
um yeah, yeah I watched these cops just ooh yeah, talk about racist. I never knew this. I mean, I love our first responders. I love police. I love our
Yeah.
canines, military brothers and sisters. But I noticed that these people are very targeted toward people of color. And it bothers the crap out of me because I'm Mexican indigenous. I just
Oh.
happen to look like an iPhone flashlight for crying out loud.
Now
But
that's funny, Dolphin. Listen, that's funny. All right, listen, that's a funny joke. I might have to keep that in the toolbox. All right.
I do want to say thank you for having me up. I just wanted to clarify that to everybody in the comments.
Okay.
You do you, Zeus. Have a good day and tell your mom I said, what's up?
But well, she can hear you, Mom. You hear Dolphin. She says, "What's up, ladies and gentlemen?" W Dolphin in the chat. All right. Thank you for coming up and clarifying that. I really do. I really do appreciate it. And the iPhone flashlight joke, that is hilarious. All right. W Dolphin. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. This is serious. That previous guest before Dolphin, yeah, we're having. I want to have the real conversations with folks. I'm done with all the Who? What do you know? This and that. No. Tell Zeus. Tell us all what you really understand. All right. Going. Let's see who's in the guest request. All right. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. I know. Now you can come up in the box. Interesting. Money.
Yes.
Yes. Now you voted for Donald Trump, correct?
Zeus, I've been trying to get on your live for months. I follow you every morning.
Oh. You.
No, I did not vote for Donald
Oh.
Trump, but that was the only way I knew I can get in there if I said I voted for Trump.
Oh my God. Oh my
Zeus,
God. Well,
it is so crazy.
thank you for following me. All right. I mean, wow.
I have a daughter-in-law.
Uh huh.
I'm in a what do you call that? A biracial marriage.
You
I've been
are
married. Yes, I am.
okay.
I've been married to my husband for 27 years.
All right. This
His,
is he's a white tea guy.
he is a white tea guy.
Okay, just double check, and I gotta get the visuals when I talk to
Okay.
people and get
Okay.
the. So thank you. Okay, so
Okay.
what?
Let me tell you a little story. His daughter is a die-hard Trump supporter. Die-hard. She has two Trump flags at the end of her driveway.
His daughter?
His daughter and Robert. Like I said, I've been married to him 27 years. I'm sorry, 27
This
years.
is wild. I'm gonna be honest, money. This is wild already.
Very much wild. You know what? He goes to his grandsons, great grandkids events. I will not go. Sorry, I love his grandkids. I watch them grow up from babies, his great grandkids. But we have to meet in a town called Beaumont. I live here in Port Arthur, where the biggest Motiva that Trump sold off to Saudi in the United States.
Wait, what's all that
And
noise? What's all that noise? I can't. What you got going on over there? There's a lot of noise back there.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of
Oh,
noise.
that was a garage door. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got it. It's cooking my eardrums.
I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, that was the only way I knew I can get to you. But
Okay.
anyway, she, if I can, he talks to his daughter, but you know what?
Did he vote for Donald Trump or
Oh,
no?
no, not in my house.
Okay. So you
Not in my
run.
house.
So you run the house. Okay, got
Oh,
it.
it ain't even about that. He just said, you know what he says? He says his parents were Democrats. He don't know where she gets it from. And then last night,
Well, there's something I could think of, but please continue.
okay, yeah,
He.
so can I. So can I. Oh, believe me,
Yeah,
I'm
I get what he meant
educated.
when he said my parents were Democrat. Okay, well, what are you saying, right? I
Yeah,
mean, what do we? Okay, but please let's continue. So there's division in the household right now, right?
not my, well, my
In the
kids.
family.
Yeah, and well, yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, his family. Yeah, hey, his son is not like that. His daughter is, and yeah, crazy, huh?
Have you? What is your relationship like with the daughter?
I don't go to her house.
So it's really no relationship.
It's a relationship with nonchalant, blah blah this, and I
Do you,
just don't entertain it.
she does? Does she come to your house?
Oh no, she's never. And Zeus, I have two rent houses, and I also have a brand new house that I bought about in 2017, 18.
Do you think that she resents her father
Oh
because
no,
he
she
is married to you and you're a woman of color? Yeah.
Zeus out for 27 years. If she hadn't gotten over it, then hey,
Mm,
for
mm.
27 years. Oh, it's just about a week ago. She called and asked for $500. Right? She needs a car. I said, her Robert's grandson got married. The daddy, her father is a preacher, and Zeus. I've never been to. They are evangelical people, and where Fred, Texas is up north.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy that I know, another guy I know that comes to Port Arthur, his name Kevin. He's a white guy, YT guy, and he goes, "Hey, Arlen, they don't have any black people here." And I said, "Oh, Robert, I have to go to work." And he
Wow.
left. And we left, and we left. And I said, Robert, why you didn't tell me that? He say, well, I didn't think it, he's so nonchalant. Get me out of here. This is not a place for me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This story, honestly, money, it just it hurts my heart because this is the stuff that really is going on in America that a lot of people don't necessarily hear about too often because we're all in our bubbles. I mean, but
Oh,
you're putting up with quite a bit.
no, I'm not, because I live in a whole, I live in a whole 2 cities away from her.
But you still are married to her father.
Yeah, and her father,
And I mean, whether you like, that's always going to be his child, his daughter. And
it's
that's,
always going to be his daughter, but
yeah. And so
he know,
you can't really come between that ever. And so this
I
is going
don't,
to be an issue.
I don't try to. He more or less, Robert has pulled away from, and I hate that. And I told him, I said, they don't even call you on Father. She don't even call you on Father's Day. He has pulled away from her, and not because of me, because I always tell him, hey, that's still your kid. Your daughter. She's 50 something years old.
This is
That's
crazy.
Yeah, this still your kid. And he was like, Elizabeth, I cannot deal with it. He wants to be and does not have anything. That's the bad part about it. It's like, I said, how can he convince them to
What?
do things like that or think like that? And she doesn't work on the system.
Mm.
Yeah, did he
So,
tell
so, 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 I guess, because, we only got so much time, all right? And I got to get back to the show. But this is important. This is something that you're dealing with. What are you planning to do the next 4 years now that Trump is president, though? I mean, I don't foresee things getting better for you.
No, when I say 27 years and has not gotten better, we're okay with it. We're okay with it. We're going to have to ride out these 4 years, I guess. What
Which
I
means
did
you're going to
do,
end up putting up with more of
what I
what you've
did
been.
do, what I did do is make my kids, which are all grown. My baby's 27.
Mhm.
I made them all update their passports.
And why did you do that?
The reason why I did that because if I and because I love Gavin Newsom so much. I have an uncle that lives in California. That's really, really, really
Oh,
where we're out.
so you plan on moving out here to the beautiful state of California
Oh
then?
yeah, I have an uncle and all my cousins. I have a lot of cousins that live there,
Well then,
and
okay, then you need to go ahead and pack those bags, money, because it's pretty much a done deal where you're at. All right,
I'm in
seriously.
Texas. I'm in
Okay,
Texas.
okay, well you got to still do it. You got to still do it.
Oh, we
Otherwise,
will.
you're gonna get more of what you. And actually, now that I think about it, it might help with some distance between him and his daughter as well. Knowing that if she needs a little couple dollars on her, she's got to go to California under Gavin Newsom. All right.
Well, he's not. They're not close. That's what I want. That was the point I was getting to.
Yeah.
It's her kids and the grandkids that he's more concerned about. He don't. He don't.
Well, Well, I mean, at the end of the day, a leopard never changes its spots, and so the
He
way
does.
the way I look at this money is you got to look out for yourself at the end of the day, all right? Because this is going to be a nasty 4 years, especially for
Oh,
you.
I know.
For you, it's
Robert
going to be a
cried.
nasty.
I believe he cried when Trump won the first time.
Yeah.
He cried. He was
April said,
like,
"Get out." Yeah. Well, listen, I got to move on though. All right, money, and it was a
"It's
pleasure.
good finally to get to talk to you. You keep up the good work. I
Uh,
love you, Zeus."
I love you as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Money, who is definitely behind enemy lines and reporting live. All right, thank you, Money. I appreciate that. This is a wild country. Somebody said you don't need your passport to move to California. I hope
Oh
you
no, I don't
already.
need my passport.
Okay.
I don't need my passport in case I have to go even further.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
want to
Like
update
Canada,
everything.
like you might have to go to Canada or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want all my documents together.
Okay. Well, listen, keep it close to you, all right, and keep that thing on you, if
Oh,
you
it's
know
in
what
the
I'm
truck
saying.
with me. I'll take it everywhere I go.
Woo!
I'll be able to identify myself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is money, all right. Woo! She said she keep it in the trunk. She said she's keeping it in the trunk with her. I said, okay, okay. Good morning, everyone. Now, if you're a Trump supporter, please put a one in the chat. Attacking, you caught that too. All right. If you're a Trump supporter, put a one in the chat. All right. I want to try to go back and forth. All right. Seriously. All right. And it's very important that I do this with finesse. All right. All right. And again, who do we got next? Put a one in the chat if you are a Trump. You voted for Donald Trump. I don't want to say Trump supporter. Put a one in the chat if you voted for Donald Trump instead. All right, let's see, who do we got? Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? It's the same. It's the same. It's the same, folks. W bounce in the chat. I see you, Q Dog. I see you. Okay, here we go. Okay, I send Zeus a guest request because sometimes I'm clicking on people and it's just not working. It's just not working when I click on people for some strange reason. It's a glitch with TikTok, all right? Who do we have next? Let's see. Oh, Brian. All right, let's go. Who do we have next? Put a one in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, all right? I want to really make sure I get across to you and I talk to you to hear what's happening in your neck of the woods. All right, I see you. All right, let's see. Who do we got? All right. Who do we got? Justin. Who do we got? Is this Justin? Good morning, Justin. Oh, Justin disappeared. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. All right, they don't want to talk. All right, I'll put an L in the chat for MAGA. All right, Desomi Food 33. We spoke before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, are you happy?
I actually am very happy. You can see the excitement on people's faces. I walk through the stores, on the job sites. A lot of my Mexican brothers are excited to see this economy bounce back. And everywhere I go, people are just giving you that nod, like yes.
Where is this at?
Zeus, Texas. Zeus, I wanted to ask you, bro, how does that humble pie taste, bro?
Well, it tastes like apple pie.
It's like apple pie, huh?
Yeah, you should try it.
Hey, bro, I wanted to ask you, are you gonna be boycotting our tacos too?
I never did that.
I see there's a big movement to boycott Mexican food and boycott anything Mexican restaurants, Mexican food. Are you behind that, or do you?
Where did you go? Hit unmute. Here you go. Never. Yeah. Listen. I get it. You're gloating, but the election is okay. You won the election.
No, we whooped on that election.
Okay, fair enough. But do you really, honestly feel like you won? That's what I'm asking people. Do you honestly, deep in your heart, deep in your soul, do you really feel like you won?
Yes, I do.
Because the mass deportations.
Hey, well, let's talk about those deportations. How do you feel about the fact that the Biden administration is calling for some of these people to start getting their things ready because they're suspending the TP, I believe it's a TPS or TPI, whatever it was, it's temporary. I mean, Biden is actually the one that's canceling all these programs that he had for them and telling a lot of them that they're going to be deported under his administration. Okay.
Listen,
how do you feel about that?
I'm not even bringing up President Biden or Kamala Harris, right?
He's still president. Yeah. Let's talk about what he's doing right now.
No, listen. I want to make sure you and I are on the same page about mass deportation. Yesterday, were you on my show yesterday?
No.
Well, I played a little thing called Operation WB. You know what the WB is? I'm not going to say it on TikTok. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So
wasn't that a Democrat?
No, it was under President Truman. All right.
Was he a Democrat?
Well, you could go look it up. All right, but
he was a Democrat, right?
Sir, I just want you to know this exercise has been tried before.
My point is proven. Democrat. See, Zeus, what you just neglect to tell people is it in more than 35 years now, or 33 years, Democrats have done nothing with immigration. Last time I checked, my dad got his amnesty under Ronald Reagan, a Republican. Democrats have done nothing but kick the can down the road 8 years under Obama, and every administration since then has done nothing but use my people as pawns. And what the things that you guys don't like is that my people and a lot of the black community have woken up to the lies of the left. And the Democrats, in my opinion, will never regain power again.
But sir, listen, we don't gotta, yell and stuff. This is a very,
No, I'm not yelling.
I know you and I have sparred before, and I get it. You're very passionate about the things you believe in, and I'm also equally as passionate. And I don't actually believe it's a bad thing to be passionate about the things that you believe in. But I really want to get away from Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I really want to make it more about the issue. And the issue that I know is coming is there's going to be mass deportations, and and whether we like it or not, it's going to happen. Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, Jason Miller, they're drafting the plans together. There's 11 million people in this country that they're saying are here illegally. We've done this before. You're going to get criminals, you're going to get non-criminals, and dreamers. This is what they're saying. Are you not at least concerned that innocent Americans could be deported in this process? You don't have a concern about that? I get it. You love Republicans.
This is what I'll say. Of course, there's concern for anything, right? Mistakes can be made.
Thank you.
I think the Trump administration has to be very careful in the way they do this.
Okay.
But in my opinion, right? In my opinion, if you listen to what they're saying, they're talking about the criminals that are going to go first, which, let's be very honest here. I don't care if they're from China, Poland, Russia, Africa, Japan. I don't care where they're from. Get them out. Get them out. If they bring nothing to this table, get them out.
But you understand that a criminal is just someone who's not here. They may have entered the country illegally. They're a criminal, right?
Listen, I'm not talking about somebody that just came here, right? That has never committed crimes in their country. A lot of these people, let's be honest, you know as well as I do, a lot of the people that are coming here are fleeing their countries for whatever reason, because some of them seek a better life, which I understand. I understand. I'm talking about the people that have already committed crimes in their country and they're hiding. They're trying to hide in the United States. Those are the people I'm talking about.
I am too. But again, I don't know if you're listening, but they're saying if you if you came in this country illegally, that classifies you as a criminal too.
Okay.
Not just the fact that you were committing crime in your country. If you entered this country illegally, you are going to be deemed a criminal.
Okay, here. Let me say something. Let me address your comments. Look at your comments, Zeus, and look how many people are saying that I'm going to be deported, assuming that I'm not from this country. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I believe. Look, let me tell you.
Why are we getting into the comments? I mean, they have the right, honestly, because I deal with a lot of people, and that's just par for the course. When you get in the box, you put yourself out here. People are going to either agree with you or not. I don't think everyone in the chat always agrees with me, but I'm not freaking out about it.
Okay, I'm not freaking out about it, but here, I mean, the loving left, right? As soon as you don't go their way, then, you're illegal, but it's cool. But check this out. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen, in my opinion. And when it does, I'll come back and say, I told you so. But in my opinion...
And I appreciate you, honestly, putting aside the differences that we got and trying to have this honest conversation, because this is what's been missing.
Okay.
I don't think for a second that the people on the left were wrong. We gave the facts, but it didn't sink in. So I think we got to go deeper in these conversations.
Well, I got to disagree with what you believe are facts. But here, let me tell you what I believe is going to happen under this administration. I believe that the Trump administration is going to offer an amnesty to the people that are already here, something that Democrats have lied about for 14 years, whatever it is, right? I believe that the Trump administration is going to offer an amnesty to the people that are already here, that have been in the shadows. And I believe he's going to give an amnesty to the people that were trafficked here under the lies of the left. Some of them straight out just trafficked. Some of them kidnapped, right? And some of them that were brought here under false pretenses and false lies pushed from the left. I believe that these people are victims of the Democratic Party and that agenda. And I believe for that reason alone, Trump is going to offer an amnesty to these people, at the same time gaining millions upon millions of new voters for the Republican Party. The left has lied continually
Hey,
to
all
the
right, I get it. Why do you believe that? You're the first person, honestly, that I've heard that has actually suggested that Donald Trump would do that. Is there something out there he said or done
yeah.
that
You know
makes
what?
you believe that that's what he's going to do?
I do.
Because the number is 11 million. So
Yeah.
how are you going to keep that 11 million and you're offering some of them
Wait.
amnesty?
Well, let me ask you this.
Something's got the math isn't quite adding up as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong for wondering how you're coming to that conclusion?
well, let me ask you this. Isn't the left the one right now that is crying about, oh my God, people are going to be deported? So now there's a problem with Trump offering them amnesty?
No.
Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
no. I think you're jumping to conclusions. I'm not crying, right?
No, I'm not
I'm
saying you.
okay, but and why I'm beating the drum about mass deportation is because like I said, there's an Operation WB. You can go look this up. But I also know people like off TikTok, right? In our regular life. Like I said, I went to the car wash the other day. I saw who was washing my car, and I couldn't help but have the thought, some of these people might end up being deported. Went and got some food. Like you brought up the tacos. I love tacos. Carne asada. All right. I do that. I'm in California.
Right.
So I get it, but I can't help but think like, wow, there's going to be possibly, but Gavin Newsom says they're going to try things here to at least resist that. But in other states, no, there's going to be people who are innocent that are going to get sucked into this mass deportation exercise. And that's smart. That's the concern. I'm not crying. It's a legitimate, valid concern because I genuinely care about people.
Okay, so how are you going to react when you see that what I said at the beginning of this live comes true?
I'll
That
be
the
shocked.
Biden
About the asylum?
the Biden administration is actually the one that's going to start these deportations, and it's actually now even. Well, look at New York. They already say they're going to stop giving the people the aid, right?
Yeah.
You guys look. You guys may not be getting this on English media, but Spanish media is already talking about it, and they're actually ridiculing Joe Biden and saying, "Wait a minute." So it was okay for these people to be here when they thought that they would vote Democrat, but now Joe Biden and some of the biggest supporters for Joe Biden are the ones reporting it and saying that they can't believe that they're having to report this. That they never thought that Joe Biden would be doing this.
And again,
they were saying that it would be Trump.
so I get it. I get it. They're blaming.
Let me finish my point. Anybody in the chat that thinks I'm lying, go look it up. It's already being reported to the Latino community.
Okay, I get it, and I believe you. Honestly, I believe that what you're saying is coming from those places. But I think there's also you gotta actually start reconsidering the fact like this could just be them trying to push a lot of things off on President Biden. He's only in here for 2 more months. It's an afterthought to keep bringing up what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing. Donald Trump is going to have the executive branch. He's going to have the legislative branch, and he clearly has the judicial branch. Going forward, every concern, who do we take it up to? We will no longer be able to use President Biden as the person to blame. We won't be able to because it's now going to be on Donald Trump's hands.
I agree.
And so that's the drum that I am beating. I'm going when he gets in, and you can see by the cabinet picks that he's making, he's not playing. Folks are getting rounded up.
Okay, here. Well, in the same token, I'll tell you this. When you see the cost of living go down, fuel prices go down, food prices go down, don't attribute it to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden either. Because it will be Trump.
Okay, fair. But what if they go up?
Right? Because this is what the left tends to do.
No. I conceded on that point. But you got to also, if you looked at it, they said inflation is already starting to go up.
Here we go. So Trump will come in, do something good, fix this economy. It's really Joe Biden's. It's really Joe Biden, just like Obama does, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that economy? Yeah, that was mine. Right?
Okay, let me help you.
Joe Biden's to Trump.
Can I explain to you why I think it's going to go up? The prices. You know, Trump promised tariffs, correct?
Yes.
And what's going to end up happening is that's going to actually make things cost a lot more for the average American. All right, if he follows through with that. the mass deportations. If you get rid of a good chunk of our workforce, there's going to be an issue. Supply and demand kicks in, and obviously there's still going to be a lot of demand for things that these people were actually contributing to. Cost is going to go up.
Hey, Zeus,
Right? Right? I mean, I'm just being honest with you. So when the costs go up, and when people get deported, all right, and you got tariffs kicking in, you got conflict still going on. The thing is, we have to let the buck stop with Donald Trump. And you won't be able to use Joe Biden as the blame person. You won't be able to do that.
How many other nationalities came in through that southern border?
I don't know.
How many countries were represented?
But there's a lot of different countries. But what's your point?
So why
I
does
don't know the
everybody
exact
always-
numbers, but I know there's a lot of different countries.
Why does everybody always assume that they're Latinos? There's a lot of people
Do
here
you you want me to give you the answer?
Well, do you know what the term? Do you know what?
Do you want me to give you the answer for why they assume they're Latinos? I
You
mean,
know what the term OTM means?
what is it?
You don't know what OTM means?
No.
It's a term the Border Patrol uses called other than Mexican.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right? The numbers are huge for the people that are coming in that are other than Mexican. You know why? Because in the last recent years, under the president of Mexico that they have now, the Mexican people haven't had the need to leave. Elderly people, they were once dependent on their family members here in America sending them money to survive. Suddenly now are receiving benefits from the government and pensions that were never available to those people. Right? The economy of Mexico is thriving. They don't need to come here now.
So it's okay to send them to Mexico then. These people who've never probably lived there, you're okay with it. I get it.
Who are you talking about? These other people?
The people that are going to get rounded up.
Look, wherever they're from, if they deem that, hey, they need to go there, or Mexico gives them an amnesty there, then hey, that's a chance you take, right?
But you're not. You're giving me a lot of filler. I need a real, genuine, honest conversation about
everything you want.
No, you're not speaking to the reality that a lot of people that are innocent Americans, they run the risk right now, even though they might be here legally, they run the risk of being deported to places they've never been.
Zeus, let me ask you something, bro. Do you think that the cop's gonna drive by me, see me in my work van, and be like, I'm gonna pull that guy over? That's what you think's gonna happen? Come on, bro. Come on, stop, man. You can't.
But hypothetically,
talk about fear mongering.
Look at that in the chat. Look at the chat. I didn't even ask the chat. And I'm glad that you finally said what I've been trying to get you to understand.
Wait.
Look at all these people who are saying yes.
Hey, Zeus. So why isn't it happening now? Why didn't it happen under? Here, let me ask you this. Why didn't it happen under the Obama administration to deporting more immigrants than anybody? You know why? Because I have a right to say, well, what did you pull me over for, right? And then I could sue their ass, right?
Okay, but sir,
right or wrong?
You could. I'll give you that. But now let me just respond. Let me just paint a different picture.
You're fear-mongering, bro. You're fear-mongering.
You asked me in the chat, said, yeah. It wasn't me. But sir.
You just told me the chat was irrelevant.
No, but I'm pointing things out as they are relevant. But let's get back to just you and I. I want to make sure you understand this is why I'm concerned. What you just said, do I think that would happen? Yes. I played a clip. Let me play it to you again. Let me play this to you. It's called Karen Threatens to Call Immigration on Latino Worker Arriving at Work at 6:58 a.m. instead of 7. No, so let me hit play on this, please.
What does that mean to me?
Listen. Come on, listen to this.
Hello.
Listen to this, please.
I'm calling code enforcement again.
How?
Okay. Also, probably immigration. Okay, and reporting you because you're not supposed to be here till 7 o'clock in the morning. No work before 7. I reported you the last time. You're going to get reported again. Do you understand me? What's your name?
Man.
What do you mean? This is the law.
Yeah.
Do you understand the law?
Yeah, we're not working. I mean,
that's not working.
We haven't started yet. We're just pulling in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not having started yet.
Yeah, okay. We'll see, but I'm going to take the pictures now. Okay. Now you gotta send them to immigration too.
Did you hear that?
Okay, what does that mean to me?
There are people in this country who will see you, including law enforcement, and they will just assume things.
You mean? Oh, so wait, are you trying to say that this started under the Trump administration? This has never happened before.
That's not what I am saying.
Then what
but
are you saying?
okay, let me break it down
This
a little
has
bit.
always
Let me break it down. At least when you had the previous Trump administration or under this current administration or even Obama, you had people in government that if they saw stuff like this and then you tried to bring it into them, they would say, we can't do anything with it because the law says that. But what Trump has done now is he's surrounded himself with a bunch of people who say, yes, sir, Trump, anything you say. So when you complain, guess what they're going to go? They're going to go, oh, we don't hear that. We gotta follow what Trump said.
Well, let me ask
and
you this.
that's the difference.
What kind of people did Obama surround himself with then? Because he was called the deporter in chief.
Again, you're missing the point.
Wait. What kind of people did he surround himself with?
Government officials. They weren't a bunch of yes people.
Wait. Wasn't it Obama that said that he was going to make it so that English was the official language of America and you would have to learn English in this country?
Wow.
Sounds pretty racist to me, doesn't it? Imagine if Trump would have proposed that law. They'd be
wow.
flying off.
Wow.
Wait. Let's talk about it.
I disagree.
Let's talk about
sir,
it.
Sir,
how many
sir,
people,
you,
wait,
sir,
Sus, let's get back to the
sir. I don't want to talk about President Biden or Barack Obama because their presidencies.
Joe Biden was his VP. He's in power now.
But you know why I don't want to talk about them? Because they lost.
Oh.
So why are we banging on that drum? They lost. Obama's term is already over.
Dude, let's talk about it. If Trump came out and said that you would have to learn English to become a citizen and go to the back of the line, like Obama said, would you consider that racist?
It doesn't even matter.
Why not?
Because now we're getting into identity politics, right? And you and I understand that's not a good thing to talk about.
I get it.
I don't want to talk about these people. I want to press the issue. Okay. And I noticed something. You didn't like that lady making that call. What does
that mean? What does that dumb lady mean to me? Dumb people come in every shape and color. What does that mean to me?
It means it's time to wake up.
I still get up and go to work every day. People that dumb don't mean anything to me.
She's not.
I laugh at people that stupid.
Wait a second, sir. Come on now. This is TikTok. I understand this made you a little. I don't want you to get too worked up about this.
No, Zeus. Tell me what you were trying to prove to me by that video.
Okay, I was trying to help you understand. You made the statement, Zeus. Do you think cops will see me and then pull me over? You remember you asked that?
Why hasn't it happened to me?
That's a different kind of question.
What do you mean? Why? I'm driving in my van right now. Why is it that when I work in these rich neighborhoods, I have yet to be pulled over?
I don't got the answers for you.
Because
I don't.
It's not happening, Zeus.
Okay.
You know
I guess that's where you're gonna rest your hat on that.
You want me to tell you what the good thing about Trump winning is?
What?
Is that no longer will they need people like you, Parker, Dean, T to push these lies. People will see in real time the left lied about Trump and who he really is. And slowly but surely, you will see your numbers start to drop, your gifters start to drop, because the American people are going to be able to look and say, these guys, sorry to say it to you this way,
chosen one. Okay. Listen. I can't let you curse on the show. All right. I do believe I actually got a lot more of an honest conversation out of you, honestly, because you usually come in and you're just drill, baby, drill, but not in the way that.
Baby, drill.
Yeah, but I want to say this. Please don't close the door completely. Please keep an open mind that what I'm saying and these people are doing, it just could happen to you. And you got to be prepared. 11 million people getting deported. There's a mandate. The people Donald Trump has surrounded himself with, they are serious this time. They're not going to litigate it and try to say, okay, this is all right. No, they got to get to 11 million somehow. And we've done this before, and they got innocent Americans. I don't know what other way I can say it to you. I 100% understand you won't agree with anything that I say. I understand
It's
that.
not that I don't disagree. It's not that I don't agree with anything. Listen, if you think I believe that all you guys on the left are bad people, I don't. I believe it's not necessarily you or the people in your comments. It's the leadership of your party.
I
They
get
are
that.
so disconnected from the American people that they think they could just bring somebody to shake their ass or here, let me get this Mexican group that everybody listens to when they're drinking, and we got their vote. Or let me throw out a cheap accent, and that's
Okay.
all it's gonna take.
Okay.
Come on now.
All right. I gotta move on. All right. I gotta move on. And I do believe you put it all out there how you feel, and we'll see. But I'm gonna push back, and we're gonna watch how this plays out. All right. And again, look at his cabinet appointments. All right.
All right, one last thing. Let's go Trump, baby. This is fucking Brown Mama.
Oh, see, there you go. I can't let that. Okay, see, you can't use profanity on the show. Come on. Is it too hard to get some of you just to tone it down? You won. All right, now, because you were just. I got to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't want to do the Lake of Fire, but you know that previous guest? I'm going to have to do it, sir. Come on. You could do better. And quit letting the MAGA demon run you, all right? Sorry, Mom, but I'll take care of that, Moms. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I got an honest conversation, but boy, oh boy, was that tough. That was a lot of MAGA demon to put up with. Lake of Fire.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. I just want to make sure everyone understands. I understand this. Do I think that you are going to be profiled in the neighborhood? I actually do, and I know so. They've been doing it this whole time. They probably just didn't take it serious, but they'll be taking it a lot more serious when Trump gets into office because he has a mandate. All right. And so I just want to make sure we put an emphasis on that. All right. W Tara in the chat. And by the way, I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out and listening to that exchange. All right, that was a very, very, very challenging exchange. But again, if we don't drill, baby, drill, we're not getting anywhere. All right. Let me bring up some others. All right. Who do we have next? All right. Who do we gonna have next? All right. Let's see. Who do we got next? All right. Oh my goodness. There's so many people to choose from, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many people to choose from. Oh my God. All right. Attacking.
All right.
Let's try to keep
All
it
right.
nice and succinct. All right. I'll try to do. I know a lot of you felt passionate about that previous guest, so I want to hear a few people.
Hold on. Well, it was Trump. Donald Trump, while in the nation, we should speak English. Not Obama. Trump said it. And by the way, Trump rounding up people, there's not going to be a court date for these people he picked up. They're going to pick them up and put them across the border. There is no more court process. They're picking the people up and they're taking them across the border without any legal process whatsoever. So for this guy to say, oh, you have to go to court for it. No. There's no more court. Donald Trump said that they're going to pick them up and put them across the border. They're not going to have a court process to see if they can stay here or not. And by the way, just because you have documents, that doesn't mean that they're going to honor them.
You don't think so? You don't? Wait a second. But, okay, attacking. We all listened to that conversation. And let's just be honest. That was how he really felt. That's how he really felt. We got all the facts, all right? And clearly it just doesn't seem to matter, right? So let's address the feeling. Let's address the feeling. What's the feeling then? What is the issue?
What is the issue? The issue is that Donald Trump won and they don't care. They don't care that he's going to destroy the fabric of the United States. I put 6 things up here that Donald Trump is going to do. Okay? I forgot the 7th one, which is basically unaliving the Affordable Care Act and 50 million people on that.
Yeah.
So I need to fix that.
And you got to add mass deportations.
Well, I have that right there.
Oh, I see it. I see it. My bad.
Massive deportation.
I think. Wow! Look at my eyes. Yeah.
So these are 6 things that Donald Trump's going to do that these people don't think that he's really going to do it the way he has said it. He is going to do when he said, "Oh, I'm not going to do a national abortion bill." Yes, he is. As soon as it's brought to him, he's going to do that. He's going to pardon the people who attacked the United States Capitol building and beat up 140 cops. Oh, that should make you proud.
Yeah.
A president who's going to pardon people who beat up the men in blue that you guys say you support.
Wow.
You guys say you support the men in blue, and Donald Trump is going to pardon the people who beat them up. You guys still say that people didn't lose their lives. You say Ashley Babbitt was unalived unnecessarily. She didn't have a weapon. See, this is how dumb you people are, and you're dumb. And by the way, I've changed my number 2 account to dark attacking. I'm using their words against Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus, the things that I put up on my number 2 page, they are eating their own. Just last night, they were attacking each other. They're lying about what's going on. They're saying there's one guy saying that he wants the politicians to stop lying, that he was mad at the politicians lying. But yet this guy voted for Donald Trump who lies. He says that the politicians need to stop lying to the American. He says they have to stop lying to the American people. The politicians need to be transparent. As he just voted for Donald Trump and is braggadocious about him winning, even though he supports Donald Trump with the 2020 election being stolen, the attack on the Capitol building, all these things that Donald Trump says all these court cases, they're just a witch hunt. All these things here, and a tariff for you uneducated, immoral idiots. Tariffs are a tax on the products that we buy. That means your cost on your product that you buy, if Donald Trump puts a tax on it, a tariff on it, you're going to pay freaking more money for it. Okay? You have 23 Nobel-winning economists coming out saying that Trump's economy plan is going to add $4,000 a year to every American's household. You don't have 23 Nobel-winning economists coming out and saying that Donald Trump's economy is gonna bloom beneficial for the American people. You don't have this. No, you don't. So you ignore everything that the real people are saying, whether they be the generals saying Donald Trump would be a danger to the American people and our government, so on and so forth. The thing is this: Zeus and we accept that Donald Trump won.
I do. I'm watching him meet with Joe Biden right now.
We're not whining and crying like Donald Trump did since 2020.
Nope.
That the election was stolen.
No tears. Johnson and Johnson.
But what we are going to do, which I'm going to do, is we're going to sit here and watch Donald Trump screw you people with what his ideas are. And then they're going to affect you, and then you're finally going to feel the pain that Donald Trump has applied, because it's going to happen to everybody.
Creative Inc. Studios. Thank you, Camp. You didn't have to, but you did. Tell them attacking. Listen, to the people out there that are crying about attacking and the way he's delivering it, you can't do that, especially when you see that I gave him a lot. The previous guest, he was doing a lot worse.
And by the way,
fair is fair.
Donald Trump's plan is going to screw all the American people. But what we on the left are going to do is we're going to watch you burn, because you don't think he's going to screw you. And as you get screwed, we're going to sit and laugh as we get screwed too. But we're going to sit and laugh knowing that we know what's going to happen, that all of a sudden you're finally getting slapped in the face with what's going to happen. See, you don't realize it, but Donald, everything right here, like with the first one, the national abortion. How many women in your family or your friends are going to be affected by this? Or if he removes the Affordable Care Act, 50 million people. That's going to you're going to know somebody who's going to have that happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
All
But
of this stuff.
you guys lied for Donald Trump. I don't have to lie for Joe Biden. I don't have to lie for Kamala Harris. I don't have to lie for somebody to support them. And I'm not going to lie for somebody who's a criminal and who has assaulted women in a perverted manner. But you guys do. You guys put that guy back in office knowing that he is unethical, immoral pervert, and you guys did it yourself.
That's it. Well, listen, attacking.
Thank you.
I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. W attacking in the chat. All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we get it. I get it, and that's why we have to continue to drill, baby, drill. All right, and that's what I'm doing over here. And don't worry, I'll lower your taxes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I seriously will. All right, yeah, but I'm not getting, honestly, and this is kind of what's really making me a little upset. I'm not getting honest conversations from the people on the right about the mass deportations and how this is going to pan out. And I get it. You want to be optimistic and hope that it doesn't turn into the things that we're talking about. I get that. And you're kind of like, well, listen, if you go there, I'm going to, move on and talk about something else. But no, you have to prepare. You have to prepare yourself, your families, your communities for what's inevitably going to come. It was number 3 on attacking's list. Yeah, and there's a lot more. And every time we get closer and closer to those issues, I'm going to make sure we have honest conversations about it, all right? Because that's what is really, really important, all right? What I'll move on to next is my good friend Q Dog, all right? Welcome back, Q Dog. Everything good?
Yeah, everything.
I haven't spoke to you in a minute, champ. All right, nice to hear from you. What did you want to say? What did you want to add to this? Because this is interesting, and it's sad. Actually, it's actually sad.
It's very sad, bro. First and foremost, I want.
Where'd you go? Okay.
Call coming in, but first and foremost, I want to say, I want to know how that conversation is going to happen with Claudia Sheinbaum. You know who that is?
Who's that? No.
That's the head of state for Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Current president, so to speak. First and foremost, with her, how is that conversation? Are you just going to dump folks into Mexico? That's what you're going to do? When Claudia. Latino people are all over the different parts of the world, not just Mexico.
And she's more liberal. So it's definitely going to be interesting how Trump makes that work.
Exactly. Second.
But did you hear the guest when he said, do you think police are going to just pull him over and profile him?
I wanted at him so bad. I'm like, so what have they been doing from the 80s on up and before the 80s with brown and black men and women? I want to share this to you because I have a few fraternity brothers that are on the force, the police force and so forth. And they have said that they've overheard people, actually in meetings, stating that to reach a quota, especially up in New York, to gear in and focus on brown and black communities. Round up as many as you can, because we all know the jailing system and the prison system is a big business.
Yeah.
So in order for them to stay in business, they got to have a certain amount of prisoners in prison. And whether you are a criminal or not, they rounding you up. So I'm trying to figure out how this is going to pan out, because you say, well, we're going to send all the criminals back over the border and so forth. Okay, so if you decrease the population in the prison systems just because they're prisoners and they're criminals, and send them back over, then how is that going to pan out for the folks in the United States, whether they're here legally or illegally? You're going to reduce that. Then you're going to reduce the income coming into the prison system. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, and tell me how that. You got so many people that's ready to put the cart before the horse, because they're on their own agenda and their own hatred for someone who doesn't look like them.
Yeah.
They ready to put that cart before the horse, and they're not even thinking about what's going to happen and how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we did our job, Zeus.
Yeah.
I got my popcorn bowl ready, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm going to watch this movie unfold the way it has been.
Yeah. We're
Like I
trying
said,
the fact we gave a lot of facts. We did. I understand when you're at a certain point, it's like, you go into a math class. If it's too much of that, people just check out. And I think that's what happened. Right? We literally just facts all day long. But if it starts to turn into a lecture in your court, in college, people aren't into that. So they want somebody that's going to give it to them at a level that they got it. And Donald Trump did an excellent job doing that. But they're about to find out it was all lies.
Exactly.
Right?
And for the young lady that kind of did a switcheroo on us just to get on the panel, that was funny.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this point blank: if you know that you have family members that are opposite color of you,
yes,
and you know how this orange man is in office, ready to do whatever that he needs to do to someone who does not look like him, and you still vote for him, don't you ask me for one dime. Don't you ask me for a tissue. Don't you ask me for a piece of gum. Because you're gonna chew on that for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. No lies detected. Well, listen, Q Dog, all right. It's a pleasure to hear from you, bro.
Oh, definitely. Same here, bro. It's been a minute, but I'm back.
All right, yeah. I was trying to send you a message back, but they said I couldn't do it. I guess you got in trouble out here, didn't you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how it is. When you have some of these Trump supporters, and one got in my live, and
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry, not in my live because I never went live before.
Yeah.
And he put a comment in my DM, and I told him to get the HE double hockey sticks on.
Yeah.
I'm going to report him. So he reported that, and all of a sudden, I get reported not being able to use. I just sent a message to them today. Y'all need to turn my DMs back on, because it's amazing how you let these folks get into these lives and to these DMs and say and do whatever they want to. But the littlest thing that a person of color does, you're ready to shut them down.
Nasty work
all day long.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do what we got to do. We're definitely got to be real clever.
One that keeps stalking me. I don't know if he has a fetish. I'm not like that. I don't go that route. Conservative Democrat.
Oh,
yeah. He has a fetish. He's one of the ones that was in my DMs too.
Nasty work. Work.
Go find a woman to play with. Don't play with me.
All right, Q Dog. I gotta move it on, but ladies and gentlemen, that is hilarious. Yeah, I get it. Let's give Q Dog a round of applause. No lies detected. Don't worry. All right.
I'm still listening in.
All right. You too. All right. That's Q Dog, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Somebody said that I'm running. RC, welcome. You said that this is an echo chamber. And I gotta push back. I really gotta push back on that, bro. This is no echo chamber. What is it you wanted to get off of your chest this morning?
Yeah, I wanted to be able to share my screen. I mean, it's been an echo chamber for like 20 minutes, but I wanted to be able to share my screen. I guess I can't do that. Well, yeah.
What's on your screen?
Well, it's a screenshot of PubMed a study that I wanted to show. I don't know how to share my. I don't think I can share my screen.
Vincent, I'm not preaching chaos. I haven't even started preaching, Vincent. Stop it. You need to quit lying in my chat, all right? Come up with better ways to get your point of view across besides lying on Zeus. I get it. You got Zeus derangement syndrome. And a lot of them do, now that I think about it. But what were you saying,
I
RC?
think
I'm
I
sorry.
figured it out. There we go. This is what I want to stop from happening. This is why I want common sense back in the White House.
Gender affirming mastectomy trends and surgical outcomes in adolescents.
Yes, that shouldn't be happening. That's to 12 to 17-year-old girls between the years of 2013 to 2020. I want to prevent this from happening to another child.
Okay. So now what? We got to subject the rest of the country to all this other stuff?
Well, can we agree that this is wrong? Because the other side, your side, is
What I won't do is I'm not going to take the bait on this. All right, I'm not an expert at all of that. All right, and I don't necessarily think that impacts a majority of Americans. All right, Americans, this election, they've given Trump a mandate. They want to see the egg prices go down, the gas prices go down. Right, inflation needs to come down. Attacking had the list, right? National abortions, mass deportations. We want to see some fracking. All right. Those to me are really a lot more of the issues that when I talk to people out in the real life, those are the things they bring up, not that.
Wait,
right? Wouldn't you agree? No tax on tips, no wars. That stuff is what I'm trying to make.
Well.
Yeah. So we are not seeing any peace in the Middle East.
But this is also important.
Russia has actually escalated the conflict in Ukraine. Right now, there's North Korean and Russian troops on Ukraine's eastern border, 50,000. I'm like, wait a second. On day one after he's elected, we were told there's a lot more peace coming. That doesn't look like peace.
Trump hasn't even gotten into office yet.
But I get that. But we need to start seeing things look like they're heading that way, right?
Yeah, wait for him to get into office when he holds the power. You're criticizing him already? Your boy Biden's still in office. That's his fault. Like, what?
I'm criticizing him because his rhetoric during the campaign, I mean, unless he was lying, was we're going to see some ceasefires, we're going to see some wars calming down, because if you leave it up to President Biden, we're going into World War III. And to me, Russia putting more troops into the war and actually getting Ukraine on board, that doesn't seem like de-escalation. It seems like escalation. Inflation is ticking back up. That doesn't seem like we're heading where he said we would be heading the moment he won the election. And his cabinet picks, they're interesting, right? I mean, you got Elon and Vivek heading an agency that doesn't exist. How do you have an agency that's supposed to go after fraud, waste, and abuse? But isn't it fraud, waste, and abuse to have them doing things that that really they have no power to do?
Are you talking about Elon and Vivek?
Yeah.
They're going to make the government more efficient.
That's going to cost money, though, right? It's going to cost us money to hire them to go find places the government should be not spending money. So the budget goes up. I'm not an expert, but I know what numbers on a spreadsheet look like.
No, it's going to save money. You're going to have less employees. That's what Elon did with Twitter, now known as X. He cut a lot of the unnecessary fat around Twitter, all these unnecessary employees. I mean, they have experience in the private sector. They're going to apply to the public sector.
I guess I don't see it that way, but again, we lost, so I'm not going to even debate that. What do you think about the Secretary of Defense pick?
I'm not crazy about some of the rumored picks.
Well, these aren't rumored. He announced it on Truth
Some of
Social.
them, yeah. There's
The guy was on Fox News. What was his name? He's the Fox News. What's Hegseth? I think that's his name, right? You know who he is, right? You all know who this guy is.
News guy?
Yeah, he's the Secretary of Defense. Could you believe that? Could you imagine him in a room with Russia? He would get eaten alive, right?
Isn't that more of the Secretary of State's job?
The Secretary of Defense. They would be the ones communicating with our counterparts in Russia, right?
One of them. But what's so bad about him?
He's a Fox News host.
Okay, and
Personality. Let me find his name. Let me get his name. Yeah. Here he is. There you see. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me find his name. Let me find his name. I had something up about him. All right, that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Pete Hegseth, a veteran and Fox News host, Secretary of Defense. Yeah, this is the guy. Don't you think being on Fox? Do you think being on Fox News prepares you to stand up to Vladimir Putin?
I don't see why not. How is he any less prepared than these politicians that are just career politicians? What do they know anymore?
I don't know if you understand how Russia is, but I don't think Putin is picking just characters on TV to push his agenda in terms of protecting his country, right?
Yeah, Putin does it himself.
Yeah, Putin is outmaneuvering Donald Trump in a lot of ways already, right? You saw that they put the videos of his wife on their TV.
No, I didn't. I've heard about that. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So imagine someone putting pictures. I don't know if you're married or or you're in a relationship, but imagine somebody putting videos and pictures of your partner on national television and laughing at them. That doesn't show that person really respects you.
It'll be funny when Trump puts up videos and pictures of the Kremlin destroyed after we bomb it. Yeah, see, that's why you don't mess with someone like Trump, because he has the gonads to do that. He does have the courage to bomb you. He will. And that's why they're afraid of this man. That's why the North Korean dictator wanted to meet with Trump, because he knows he's actually crazy enough to push the red button.
You would want Donald Trump to push the red button?
No, I want someone that has the balls to push the red button.
So, in other words, someone that's going to start World War III.
No, someone that with the threat that they know this guy's crazy enough. Otherwise, if they know they can walk over you, like they know they can walk over Biden,
yeah,
and you could walk over Kamala, then you have the looming threat of China invading Taiwan.
I mean, it just to me doesn't seem like we're heading towards peace. But what you just described, I don't see how that actually is heading towards peace. It's actually ratcheting it up, because I just don't see Putin losing as many soldiers as he did going, okay, Donald, you win, and I get nothing out of it.
So why do you think Putin waited until Biden getting inaugurated to invade Ukraine?
Do you want my honest answer? I think Putin has compromising information on Donald Trump.
Why do you
and he knows Biden is on his way out. Why not strike now? Who's going to stop him?
But if he has this compromising information on Trump, why didn't he strike with Trump in office?
Because there was a pandemic.
He had 3 years before the pandemic.
No. He was working with Trump, first of all, to try to get as much as he could in terms of getting Trump to pull out of NATO, getting the United States out of the NATO. Now, that didn't quite go down. And by the time he was able to do something, the pandemic started. And you know how Putin was. He was very paranoid about the pandemic. He went above and beyond to make sure people couldn't even get in a room with him. So once that ended, obviously Biden was in office and it was back to business. If Trump, to me, really wanted to send a message, when Trump got in, he should have made Putin give Crimea back. Hey, you did something under Obama's watch. I don't like that. Give it back to Ukraine now. He didn't do that. That's how I see it. But again, I lost.
So you think that you're saying that Trump was working alongside Putin, but now Putin's
no, I didn't say that. I don't think Donald Trump and Putin. I don't think Putin would risk working with Trump, because Trump is he's too reckless. He's unpredictable, right? And it would be a liability for him. But I do believe Putin has compromising information on Donald Trump, that if he gave that information or pushed or put it out there, Donald Trump would be in a lot of trouble. I don't know if you read that report, but one of those Putin's government officials said, now that Donald Trump has won the election, he said something along the lines as, now that we helped you win, you know what to do.
But I thought I heard you say that Putin was working with Trump to get out of NATO.
He wanted Trump to help him get out. Putin wanted Trump to weaken NATO as much as he could, right?
So isn't that working with him?
I don't know, because the way that Putin will get Trump to do it is just blackmailing him.
You think Putin was blackmailing him? But I mean, like, based off what?
Well, I just told you about him having videos of Melania be played on national television.
Now.
This is after he won the election. So if he has that and he's that open about doing it now, you can't help but think like, wow. We also know he spoke to Putin. Trump was speaking to Putin at least 7 times during the Biden administration, right? And we know Trump gave COVID equipment to Putin, and Putin had to tell Trump, don't tell the American people. And Trump, why not? He's like, I don't care, but it's going to be bad for you, Trump, if you tell the American. So Putin knows how to tell Trump what to do.
So is the main reason you voted for Kamala because of this Russia
You
issue?
mean, you mean Kamala?
Yeah, Kamala. Is it because of this Russia issue?
Part of it.
So why else did you not
Are
want
you,
Trump in office?
now, but then if I tell you why, you're going to say, well, see, and that's why you lost.
No,
And
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
and I
say-
don't want to
say
do
that's
that. But
why.
if we're having a genuine conversation, personally, I believe as much as Donald Trump is a very good entertainer, he can be very hilarious at a lot, and he's definitely a walking, talking viral moment. I also understand I have to separate that from running the United States government, which I think is very boring. If you really thought about the work that has to be, the real work in government is boring. You see these buildings, you don't know what these buildings mean, but there's a lot of work happening that shift and turn, and influence whatever's going on in this country. And I just didn't believe Donald Trump had the personality to put his head down and do the work. I don't think Donald Trump is well versed on American history or world history. I don't think Donald Trump is really a deep thinking person. I think he goes off of instinct, and some of the things that he's done, if you look at it, it resulted in him getting impeached twice. It's resulted in American lives being lost. If you talk about how he dealt with the pandemic, and then just listening to the fact that a lot of people who used to work for him, they said, you know what, this is not a person I want to work for. I don't feel comfortable putting it on my resume that I worked for the Trump administration, right? So when I looked at all of that, I said, he's just not really. I mean, there's a lot more, but I won't get into it. It just became crystal clear that I want someone in there that I don't have to worry about all of that.
I mean, we had 4 years of him, though. 3 years were great. The fourth year was the worst pandemic that we've had really since 1917 Spanish flu.
Yeah.
1915.
Yeah, and if and some would say, he inherited some of the success Obama had, and he kind of rode that. And so, but then there's others that might actually say, no, he was working his rear end off the moment he got into the office. And I would say, okay, fine. But then I still have a problem with the lying about the pandemic to the American people. I have a problem with that. And then I find out you gave Russia some of our equipment at the time where we needed it. I have a problem with that. And then I also have a problem with not engaging in the peaceful transfer of power. I just don't understand why that was so difficult.
The peaceful transfer of power? Because he was questioning the legitimacy of the transfer of power.
And that's fair. I believe he had a right to. And 60 courts said, sir, there's nothing you can do. You got to accept it. His own family, his daughter. And, when you send a mob to attack your own vice president, that just, to me, seemed un-American in a way. Right? So, and again, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Trump hater. I'm a Trump hater, all right? And I wanted him to get indicted, sentenced, and convicted. But let me not get too carried away with that. If Donald Trump legitimately won that election, then he won it. And I would have said, you know what, I'll stand down. And if he was legitimately a person that had good integrity and good morals, I'd say, you know what, even though I'm a Trump hater, let the man cook. Because I can set aside my differences.
I mean, fair enough. But why do you hate him?
Because I think about the things that not just he's done, right? But I think about the impact that he's had on this country. And I can see, like, you know what? We're at war with each other a lot. And his rhetoric, it has empowered a lot of folks out here to, I would say, take this country backwards in ways that are very harmful to a lot of people who have fought for progress.
Can I know a way that you think that it's fighting back to a place where it's being harmful again?
Well, are you asking because you genuinely care, or are you don't know?
No, I'm asking because I care. I care about what your view is because I want to know the other side. You're not attacking me right now. You're not insulting me. So
No. But I'll own it. During the campaign, I slang a lot of mud like you wouldn't believe, because it was campaign mode, and obviously I didn't get the outcome that I wanted. So now I just want to have authentic conversations, right? And make sure people understand, like, there's going to be a lot of things coming that he has to deliver on. And this is going to be the impact of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to talk about? The national abortion ban? Whether you like it or not,
Right.
whether you have a moral stance on it and you think it's unaliving babies, at the end of the day, it's already having a negative impact on a lot of women.
Right. So, I mean, you know that Trump is not for a national abortion ban, though. He said he wouldn't sign off on that.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe, because I know he also lies a lot.
Well, but he's criticized, for example, Ron DeSantis, the Republican governor of Florida, for having too strict of an abortion ban.
Well, in the campaign, he had to, because he's trying to get elected. So he's going to say a lot of things, like he promised these people a ceasefire, these Lebanese people, these Arabs that voted for him, 3.5 million all across the United States, especially in the swing states. He promised people a lot of things just to get their vote. But from my point of view, whatever it took to stay out of jail. Right? Imagine you were on your way to spending the rest of your life in jail. Wouldn't you lie to people?
Was that the... well, hold on a second. Hold on.
Wouldn't you lie to stay out of jail?
Well, we were just talking about abortion. So you think that he was criticizing DeSantis and stuff so that he could fight his way to stay out of jail?
Yes.
Can you connect those dots for me?
Yeah, he needs to vote. He needs to become president to avoid prison. So it's not difficult to imagine. You have him cornered, and when you have an animal cornered, they're going to fight. Most animals fight for their life when they're cornered, right?
Yeah.
So Trump's life, one could argue, was on the line.
I mean, I hear your argument. I see what you're saying. I think that it was. I do think that all of these trials were politicized, and it was definitely an attack on Trump.
I mean, however you frame it, at the end of the day, if they would have moved forward and he was convicted, he would be spending the rest of his life in prison.
Wait, for which crime would he be spending the rest of his life for?
It would be all of them, right? He's gonna bounce out of one, go straight into the other one, and after that, he's gonna go straight to the other one, and after that, he's gonna go straight. By the time the dust settles on all that, that's the rest of his life. He was facing what? How many felonies?
I think in that one
87 altogether, right? So you had the classified documents, you had January 6th case, you had the Fulton County case, and you had the hush money trial. Once the sentencing actually began on those, if you combine all of the sentencings with all 4 different cases, yeah, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So it's to me, it's real clear and obvious. He knew that. And so the question I asked you, would you lie to stay out of prison?
No, not if I committed the crime.
That's interesting.
I mean, I'm a Christian, so I put Christ first in my life, and I'm not gonna break my moral code so that I can stay out of prison. If I committed a crime, I committed a crime. But I don't know. I have a lot of suspicion with if these are true accusations being weighed and levied towards Trump.
I don't personally think the United States government would be so petty to go after a former president, knowing that once you open up that can of worms, all bets are off in terms of the credibility of the government. I don't think that a decision like that would be made lightly unless there clearly was enough information, enough evidence to make it a situation where it's like, hey, we have no other choice but to do this.
So my question for you is then, for the next 4 years, are you actually concerned that this country is going to fall apart? Are you concerned that you're going to have rights taken away from you? Or what is it like? What's your primary concern?
My primary concern right now are mass deportations. I don't really think the gravity of that has sank in for a lot of folks, especially people in the community, the Hispanic community. I don't think it's sat in. We've tried this exercise before, and I get it. It was a different administration, but I know that Donald Trump has surrounded himself with people who are yes people. And I don't know about you, but any person in leadership knows that's kind of the worst thing to do. Not to have no one in there kind of warning you you're about to head off a cliff. That's pretty scary, right?
Well, yes, but JD Vance has even called Trump, many insults in the past as vice president.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're saying that he's a yes man now.
You think Donald Trump would bring on someone that would act like Mike Pence again?
No, I think he wants strong people next to him.
Or yes people.
I don't know about that, but I understand your view that you think
Mike Pence, to me, he's a strong person because, hey, Donald Trump had your life threatened, and then you still, kiss the ring.
Look, a lot of the people that Trump had fired, not that Mike Pence was fired, but they write op-eds and they write books and profit from them afterward. So I just don't respect that. If you had something to say, then say it during the time. Don't profit on a book a year after the fact.
But again, I get that. That's a personal thing, right? We have a situation now where Donald Trump, like Kamala described, will have no guardrails. There's not one person right now that he's picking that's going to say, hey, sir, that's illegal. Everyone that he's going to say, go after X, Y, and Z. They're going to go, yes, sir. Now, within the bureaucracy, because there's employees there that we don't hear about, they might speak up and say something, or they just might flat out and quit. But I don't think the posture we're currently in right now can stand up to other countries in the posture that they currently have, because we're basically going to get bullied. We're going to get outmaneuvered because these are people. Putin is a real criminal. He's a real thug. He doesn't care about policies and stuff. He's just trying to get what he wants. And you put him up against a Fox News personality? Please.
Yeah, but that Fox News personality won't be the only one going up against Putin.
You can have 10 Fox News. You can have 10 Fox News personalities. That pales in comparison to what Putin is doing. He's a thug. He eats them up. He eats them up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Easy. He could bully and intimidate them in ways they've never dreamed of. And
Trump, though?
Well, if you believe what I said earlier, he flashed those videos of Melania all over national television. I don't know about you, but if somebody did that to my significant other, I'm getting on the phone. Hey, you need to relax. You need to relax, or we're having, that's how I would have handled that. Because I would have took that as disrespect. Honestly.
The scariest people are the ones that don't say anything right away. Mob bosses don't say anything right away. They're quiet, and then they act when the time is
right.
Well,
we know Trump isn't quiet.
He's not quiet on some things that he does want to not be quiet on, right? But on other things, for example, when Obama was still president,
he had no problem.
Hold on.
Oh, and then we got to wrap it up because I didn't realize, boy, these have been great conversations. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Finish your point.
Yeah. So my final point here, before Trump was president, I think this was in 2014, there was a correspondence dinner or something, and Obama was making fun of Trump, and Trump was sitting in the audience, and Trump is just watching him. He's not laughing. He's not getting angry. He's just watching him.
Oh, he was angry.
Perhaps inside.
I saw it in his facial expression.
But
I
he's not
saw it.
reacting.
Yeah,
He
but
wasn't reacting. And then what happens? Trump becomes president, and then he starts making actions.
But to your point though, right? He has no problem insulting President Obama or Joe Biden, right? And that's Joe Biden is the leader of the United States.
Right.
So if he has no problem saying how he feels to Joe Biden with his hands on the nuclear, he should have no problem speaking that way to Putin. That's just how I see it. I'm not into all of that. But if you're that gangster, if you really about that action, put it on full display.
Well, we're gonna see in these upcoming years. But hey, man, you're an American. I'm an American, bro.
All right.
I have a hate towards you, so it was good talking to you.
All right, and yeah, this was a good conversation, to be quite honest. It took away from the what do you know thing, and it got me into help me understand how you really think about things. So I appreciate it. All right, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's RC. That was a way more civilized conversation. All right, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. My time flies, but once again, ladies and gentlemen, Zeus must depart and tend to affairs in the kingdom, all right? Unfortunately, I didn't get to speak to each and every single one of you that I wanted to, but it doesn't mean that I love you any less. You all deserve a round of applause. You really do. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to hang out with me this morning, all right? But I also want to give a final round of booze and shame. And you know who these booze and shame goes out to? It goes out to those Zeus haters out there. And they know exactly who they are. They do nasty things now. Oh my gosh, I got a picture of Zeus. I'm going to do a whole live with Zeus's photo in the background. And they got this thing. Blacks for Trump. I'm not a black for Trump, all right? And nice try. But these are Zeus haters out there. They like to say, Zeus, you're fear mongering. I'm not fear mongering. I'm giving you nothing but facts. All right. And trust me when I tell you this, once Project 2025 kicks in, you will be crying. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them one final round of booze and shame. That's for the Zeus haters.
Silence! You MAGA!
All right. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. I'll be back tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. All right, we're out of here. I love your show. Thank you. I love you too. Dark Bamba, I see you. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I love you too, Shelly. We're out of here. Let's go! Have a great rest of your morning. Let's go! What a great show. They're going to be praying for Kamala. Heaven! Thank you, Heaven. We had him crying yesterday, didn't we, Heaven? DJ Kitty Cat, thank you. We had him crying. I was in that live. You know the live we were in. Tiffany for the people. Let's go. Alter. Ego. Thank you. You're the man. You're the champ. I think so. Let's go. Defeated, but never defeated. Woo! Sabria! We're still working, Q-Dog. Thank you for the jets. And I was in one of those jets. Someone said they want me to connect the dots. Connect the dots. Somebody asked me, am I still working for the DNC? I guess I am. Shout out to you, T. Welcome, T. Nice to see you, brother. I'm doing all right. Yeah. Woo! Gotta be able to connect those dots. Thank you, Tara. I am cracking up. And the reason that I'm cracking up is because He asked me, do I really think, Cutie Utie, thank you. He asked me, do I really think W. Ange in the chat, oh my gosh, you got this one. Hold on. He asked me, do I really think cops are going to pull him over because he's Hispanic and he's working at a job? Do I really think that? Yes. I don't get it. But I'm going to keep bringing more people. I'm going to keep bringing stories, right, Angel? We're going to keep bringing these stories. We know we've been here before as a country. All right. Now let's get up out of here. But before we do, you know what we got to do. All right.
And they're taking black jobs now. And it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs. And you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
They do.
Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack. Drill, there's a black frack.
We're going to be doing this too. Hey, wow, let's go Heaven. Hey, W, Heaven in the chat. We're going to drill. Hey.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
That's right.
Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
Why?
We're going to lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know, they go
Crazy when I say
the late, great Hannibal. Drill, lower your taxes.
Deep insane asylums. All right, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and y'all have a great rest of your morning. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus.